Guys, listen up. As you get older, the best way to continue to look young, exuberant, and vibrant is to continue to take care of your skin. That's why I'm excited to have Teej Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. You heard me talk about them before, and you're going to continue to hear me talk about them because I believe in their products and the positive impact that they have on every man's life. Teej Hanley makes taking care of your skin so easy. They provide you with all the products you need and nothing that you don't. Every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. Lapeef family, I must admit, skincare wasn't always something I always focused on, but since I started using this system, I've seen improvements in the way my skin looks and feels. And you don't have to take my word for it. They have over 5,000 five-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers from around the world. I recommend you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer, and a PM moisturizer. In addition to amazing skin, members of Teej Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off retail price, the ability to customize your box, pause or cancel at any time, and free US shipping. And because Teej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click that first link in the description and you'll get 30% off the first box plus the free gift. Seriously, that's an amazing deal. Even though it's too early, as I often say, it's never too late. Click that link and get started today. That's right, family. Feel it, Teej. It's go time. It's go time. What's going on, family? Welcome to King Talk on the Lapeef Network. Let me go ahead and introduce the crew. We got Sweeney. Welcome back, Humble Dad, Luis, Shannon Rawls, Purple Pill Pie, Shan Bracy, Shine Antonio, Jay Stanza, me, myself, on Lapeef JR. Welcome to King Talk on the Lapeef Network. What's going on, family? What's going on? How y'all doing?
I'm good. How y'all?
What's good, bro?
What's going on, fellas? How we doing tonight? How we feeling?
What's happening? It's good to see y'all, man. I'm in a good mood, man. I'm in a good mood.
Yeah, me too.
Glad to be alive.
Why you in a good mood? Why you in a good mood, JR?
Woke up
Everybody looking good tonight too.
Appreciate it, sir. I woke up this morning, Humble Dad. I get to experience another day in the paradise. Or some people may say jungle, but I said paradise today. It's good to see you guys, Shan. Like you ready? What that shirt say, Shan? Oh. Okay, ready chocolate, sir, huh?
Oh shit!
Come on. Well, it's good to see you, gentlemen, man. Bracy, welcome us your first time. Welcome to the show. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the sponsor, Teej Hanley Uncomplicated Skincare for Men. 30% off along with a free gift. Y'all make sure y'all go ahead and get that Teej pack. Again, that link is in the description. Let me see who we got in the chat. Tina, Ev, I see you. Shout out to all my Green Gang. If you want to become part of the Green Gang, click that link that's pinned to the top of the chat. It's going to be a great show today. I got 3 wonderful topics, maybe possible 4, depending on how quickly we get through them. Are you guys ready?
Come on.
Are you guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I see Jay Stanley with the gold mic, bro. What's going on, man?
I had to set my shit up.
Okay. Got to set it up. You might want to turn it towards you a little bit.
I got you.
No, I'm talking about the actual. It's like it's going up.
No, that's how that mic goes. It's not a facing mic like this one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, shit. I know something better than I. Don't learn today. Let me go ahead and jot that down. Gold mics do not have to be facing towards you. All right. I know that. Okay. I'm gonna give me a gold mic and see if I can do that shit because I got to talk directly into it. Otherwise, you do a whole live show and it'll be sounding like this.
Yeah, the Shure mics, the M7Vs, the SM7Bs, they're straight on like ours, but his mic is different. His mic is a studio recording booth mic.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get it started, man. Hit that like button. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Here we go with our first topic. We're going to be talking about Dr. Umar Johnson saying that black men created masculine women. Let me go ahead and play this clip. It's a little bit long. That's why I went on ahead and started with this one. So here we go.
Men willingly leave the household, or was it the system that was?
It was systemic.
All right. So how, if we giving them grace for them having to do it without us, but it wasn't our fault, how are we not getting that same grace and that same respect?
I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
I'm gonna tell you why. Because black men, as the leaders of the community, now
we can't be leaders.
Here's the question we got to make.
That?
Here's the question. Because the argument y'all make, feeds into the feminist agenda.
Okay,
it's an argument that says I don't want the responsibility.
I'm a leader.
I don't want to fix shit. Right? I'm gonna fall back and let her run everything. That's what the feminists tell. They say, look at them making excuses for why they can't be better men, making excuses for why they can't make better men. You understand? Your argument feeds the feminist narrative. That's dangerous.
Not what we're making excuses for.
I'm saying I am the better man, but I shouldn't be held responsible because you wanted to choose a Pookie and a Ray Ray. That's not me. I worked too hard in my life. I'm gonna go back
to what I said. Pookie and Ray Ray shouldn't exist. And the only reason why Pookie and Ray Ray exist because we're not in the community making those boys the men they need to be. Do you see that? And she don't get a Pookie if you didn't allow a Pookie.
But she got an Eli. She ain't come to Eli. She went to Pookie. And that's what we're trying to say.
She wouldn't have had a Pookie if we didn't allow one. I worked too hard in my life. She wouldn't have had a Pookie if we didn't allow one.
But Dr. Umar,
men supposed to make raise the boys.
Right. We as men is holding other men accountable for the same thing that you're talking about right now.
What are we doing for the young brothers in the street? So
what you mean, mentoring them? Now I mean he's a great father.
I ain't talking about that's individual. That's good, but that's individualism. What are we doing collectively as men to change the trajectory for black boys in the streets right now? Nothing.
We're being a voice.
Talking shit.
Yeah, I mean you could take it.
It's not going to get better unless we put hands on deck. The reason the athletes and the rappers are the role models is the professional black man moved out the hood. Where the dentist at? He ain't in the black community no more. Where the lawyer at? Where the business owner at? Where your city council person at? We abandon black boys, and then we blame black men for poor choices in mates that they should not even have to make if we did a better job raising our boys the right way. At the end of the day, if I'm gonna call myself a man, the ultimate responsibility for reconstruction of the black community rests with me. Yes, they have a role. Yes, they have responsibility. But as a man, as a leader, to say I can't fix this shit unless she changes, that's not the definition of a man.
I don't see. I think we're on two different accords. Like, I don't think we're saying that. What I'm saying is I'm capable of being that leader, that provider. I've worked hard in my life. You get what I'm saying? I should not have to do.
You still go back to individualism.
But I only feel like we tell black men that we have to now deal with masculine women with children.
Why is she masculine? Because she's had to raise the kids alone, not one woman, brother. A whole community.
So you mean to tell me the only woman I could look forward in my life is a masculine woman that has kids by other men?
No,
that's what I have to look forward to.
But I'm telling you, mistakes made by black men systemically gave rise to the conditions that allowed her to be masculine and made her end up with a man that you consider to be less than what he should be. And I'm telling you, black men are responsible for her being masculine because we have not helped her raise them children.
I am
and
not.
when I say help them raise them children, I don't mean you as the stepdad.
No,
I mean you as an active member in the community where we go to every single parent black mother and say, how many sons you got? 2? How many sons you got? 2? Well, guess what? That's your son's big brother. That's your son's big brother. He taking them to school. He doing the homework. He gonna spend a couple hours with them every Saturday. He got his own kids too, but he gonna make time for you. She got masculine because she had to become masculine in order to deal with the rape, the abuse, the domestic violence, the disappointments that men had in her life, and also raising those kids and have to take care of herself all at the same time. The black woman has been the be all in all in our community for half of a century, and now we want to turn around and say because she didn't do it perfectly enough or remain feminine enough when she had to absorb our responsibilities plus her own, that's insensitive and disingenuous.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I said it was a little long, man, but Sweeney was complaining the entire time. The entire time throughout the show, man. But it'll be a great discussion. I do want to lay everything on the table tonight, fellas. I want y'all to be honest. I want y'all to be fair. Fair, Danny.
This is about to come off wrong as hell.
Go ahead, Sweeney. Go ahead, kick it off.
This is about to come off so wrong. I'm gonna keep it a bean. Fuck your kids. I'm sorry. It's not my job to slide in and tell you how many boys you got. How many do they need this? No. Go to their daddy. Because I love how you brought up the fact of there shouldn't be no Pookie and Ray Rays and said they shouldn't exist anyway. And who raised the Pookie and Ray Ray? Because she had to raise them by herself because she had a baby with a Pookie and Ray Ray. But I'm supposed to slide in and fix shit? I'm supposed to try to go in your neighborhood and raise your son when I got my own kids to worry about? Fuck your kids. I'm sorry. What? This is crazy that he sat here and you can scapegoat. You can sit here and look at an entire group of women and say you said that, oh, systemically we were removed from the house. No, we weren't. That was with cooperation. They didn't just come in and just snatch us out the house. Majority of black men aren't criminals. So how do we get removed from the house if majority of us ain't criminals? If majority of us ain't crack addicts? If majority of us know how to work and go to get regular jobs and know how to, know how to pay bills and stuff like that, that's majority of us. But you're going to say, oh, we were stripped out the house. That was with cooperation. They came in and said, hey, look, if you get rid of your man, we'll go ahead and give you this. You said, cool. Well, now you got to deal with that. But don't sit here and come on the back end and say, hey, look, y'all need to come in and help these people raise their kids. No, ask them where they daddy at. Matter of fact, it's your job to go get his daddy and help you raise your son. But don't come back to me and tell me I got to do it through some type of charity work or some type of community program. There's plenty of them. There's my brother's keeper. There's the Big Brother programs. There's the YMCA. There's the football programs and sports, and there's coaches all over the place. And you gonna still say we ain't doing nothing? Umar knows who's giving them money. That's all that really is. He know the brothers ain't out here putting money in his pocket for that FDMG academy. And he want to go back and placate to the women that actually put money in his pockets. Then that's fair. But get your own shit in order. You left a couple baby mamas in your wake.
Sign language.
But I'll stand on that. Like I help the kids that want to be helped. I help the kids that come through that I deal with. I was a coach. I help those kids. I do it because I like to, not because I feel like I have some obligation to the community to go out there and do something, especially when they're being raised by failed parents, failures for parents. The parents are the failures. They made the choice, not me, not that dude who was just talking to him, not any of the men on these panels. We all did our job. And like he said, you had a choice to choose Eli. You chose Pookie. I'm not trying to hear that. All the corny dudes that was playing chess, that was good math, that was mathematicians, that was in the science room, that was running experiments, that was, that was trying to walk behind you and walk you to your classroom and give you books and stuff like that. Oh, he was the corny dude. Oh, I don't want to mess with him. I want to go over there. Messing with Pookie and Ray Ray is a choice. She wasn't forced to. Talking about there wasn't enough good men in the community, so she had to choose one. What? I'm good.
All right, go ahead, Sean.
Man, what the fuck was you just talking about? You said a whole bunch of bullshit, and you said the same thing 30 times, and it was all wrong every single time you said it. This the thing, bro. See, y'all get on these internets, bro, and y'all like to quote-unquote hold women accountable, but y'all never hold men accountable. All of the issues that go on in the black community are the black man's fault. The problem is we like to outsource the responsibility. We blame politicians. We blame police. We blame the women. We blame every fucking body but ourselves. You niggas want to drop your nuts when it comes to women, but not when it comes to building a community. Not when it comes to building infrastructure. Not when it comes to helping little niggas that you niggas be scared of. If you pussy, just say that, bro.
I ain't a pussy. I got a place. They got a place for him.
I'm just saying, I'm talking about anybody, not just you.
We got a place for him.
Okay, whatever. Here's the issue, right? All of you niggas on the internet use my city, Chicago, as y'all talking point. The conservatives use it as a talking point all the time. They keep hiring more police. You cannot arrest your way out of what's going on in our communities. Why? Because when you arrest one nigga, it's 20 more niggas waiting to fill that slot. It's not something that you can be reactive to. It's something you have to be proactive to. What have I done personally? I've run millions of dollars in programs. Chicago, New Jersey, Texas. What works, Sean? Mentoring programs, after-school programs, reentry programs, electronic monitoring programs. Proactive solutions work. You niggas always complain and use this as a political football, but you never ask what works and how you can make it work even more. Programs work. It's proactive. And you know who kids who do violent things listen to? They listen to people that look like you and me. Niggas that's been through stuff. Niggas that's from where they're from. Niggas who have cultural competence that can speak their language. Why? Because I'm an alumni of that shit. I went from doing everything they was doing to somehow ended up in college and somehow being on the other side. And I'm comfortable in the boardroom and in the trap house. That's who they listen to. So when you outsource their responsibility, the only person that they will listen to is no longer there. They're not listening to no fucking woman.
I got a question. Who did we?
They're not listening to mom, bro. That's not mom's job. That's your job. And every time y'all make this argument about taking care of your own household, the problem is, nigga, you got to step outside. And when you step outside, nigga, it's active. Your kids got to go outside and they're in the field, whether they choose to or not, they're in that field. And if they from a neighborhood, nigga, I don't care if you are from that neighborhood, I'm going to treat you like you from that neighborhood. So saying that I can take care of just my household, it does not exist in a vacuum. You are part of a community. So whatever goes on outside will affect you and your kids, like it or not.
Do the community not start with the decisions of the parents that make the kids in the community?
Okay, so what? How does that negate what I'm saying?
So again, I said the solution. Go find a daddy. Don't sit here and try to lead. Go find a daddy. Or, I mean, we can always do this. Stop choosing dumb motherfuckers to make babies with.
But you missed his point. His point was that if we did our job, then the dumb motherfucker wouldn't exist. You missed
the dumb motherfucker was already there.
He said Pookie wouldn't exist if we did our job. There's no such
thing as that. Pookie and Ray Ray exist in every single community.
But
no matter which one.
In this situation, addressing what he said specifically, Pookie wouldn't exist if we did our job.
Yes, he will. Because there's always somebody that's going to be doing.
How does Pookie come to be? Pookie comes to be because you niggas on the internet talk about single moms, right? Y'all talk about the single mom side, but y'all don't talk about the fact that dad is not there to be the disciplinarian.
Exactly.
Install structure in the household.
Who is that dad?
How can we shit on the women? And I'm not wearing no cape for nobody. How can we shit on the moms, but not hold the dads responsible, bro?
I did say that. I said go find the daddy.
Father to this day.
I said go find the daddy.
I didn't go left because my mom was there. I went left because my dad wasn't there.
I said go find the daddy.
Bro, okay, so what if the daddy is dead? So then what?
So we're going to talk about the daddy being dead versus, come on now, bro. Come on now. We ain't talking about the extenuating circumstance where the daddy is dead. We're talking about
I'm going to be 45 this year and I still ain't found my daddy. So what? What's the solution for me? What was the solution for me? What would have stopped me from getting shot?
What I would have said is that your mama shouldn't have made down with a man that didn't want to be there.
But he was a military nigga. He went to the military and got hooked on drugs in the military. So what are you talking about? Okay, he wasn't a piece of shit. He got to the military.
Okay, so she made a baby with him before. So what? She made a baby with him out of wedlock. Then he went off to the military and then got
so you talking pie in the sky and you.
I'm asking. That's a question.
Once again, that's why there are people who fix shit and people who sit on the sideline and criticize shit. You a sideline nigga. You ain't talking about fixing.
I asked you a question. I said, so your mama went and made a baby with a dude that she was not married to, and he ran off to the military.
Why ain't you talking about the man who went and made a baby and then he went to the military and left and never came back?
Your mama made a baby with a Pookie and Ray Ray.
He was not a Pookie. What are you talking about?
Sweeney, you spoke for 5 minutes uninterrupted.
You're right.
One person spoke.
I'll kill it.
Not one person hit their mute button. Let him finish.
I'll kill it.
The point of the matter is, I'm just going to say it one more time. It is our job. Black boys will only listen to black men. We have a program in Chicago. You can look it up. It's been in existence for decades. It's called Ceasefire. The job of Ceasefire, it hires former gang members and things like that, people who are respected in the streets. They are violence interrupters. They can't stop everything, but their job is when violence happens to attenuate the level of violence that happens as a reaction. The problem in places like Chicago is that there's always retaliation and there are never-ending wars. So once blood gets shed on either side, y'all like to say that women are emotional, but men are emotional. Once blood gets shed, now I got to get back because you did something to my mans, and it will go on for decades. So their job is to stop that as much as possible. And you need those people who they respect, who understand the situation, who still have some pull in the streets to say, nah, chill. Because we as black men don't know how to take an L, which is why there are no more fights. It's all shooting. That's my point.
Well, I believe that we cannot say that black men making women masculine. That is insane because just because of whatever the situation is, they can't just become masculine because we did that. So just like we can't say that because we didn't have no fathers and we go to a new girlfriend or whoever she is and say, well, I'm a little feminine because I ain't have no father around. That's insane. So she's masculine because she chose to be masculine. There ain't no fucking excuse for it at all. She's masculine. That ain't the type of woman you need to be with. Simple as that. You need to find a woman that rests in her femininity, as the internet says.
All right, let me go to Jay Stanza.
All right, let's be real. As men, we are not responsible for who women pick to lay down with. There's nothing we can do about that. It's up to them. Let's be real. Majority of black women, 80%, I made a video about this, they not checking for the engineer who graduated from Georgia Tech. They not. They checking for the bad boy, the thug, the rapper, the scammer, the drug dealer, the dude that's trouble. They are not stupid. They know who they are dealing with. They know this. They know he ain't shit. They know this. They're not blind to the fact. So Dr. Umar is wrong in that instance. As far as masculine women, I'm not responsible for that. Because she turns it on and off. When she go to work, she turns it off. Because when her manager coming to the job, she better turn it off. When the owner of that company coming to their job, she's not masculine. She know how to turn it off. Straight up. And I also want to say this. Black men are not obligated to do any of this that Dr. Umar is talking about. You're not. You're free. You're not obligated to your community. You're not obligated to only date black women. You're free. You could travel. You could date who you want. So you got to get this mindset of trying to save something. There's no saving it. It's been like this. It's going to stay like this. Straight up.
Let me get HD in there. Go ahead on with that.
Oh, man. I've never been on the bandwagon of Dr. Umar, but I think he has a very valid point. For example, if he says that there would be no Pookies and Ray Rays if there were men that were stepping up and helping to steward and direct them. So I thought about that because I watched it and we talked about it on the show last night. And I listened to what Sweeney said. In his profession, your profession, Sweeney, is a barber. Is that correct? Right?
Yeah.
And so if you were to mess up somebody's head, should they go and just, be out there and their head is messed up? Or should somebody see, or he goes and finds somebody that can do a better job? What I mean by that is, yes, you messed up, but there is somebody that should be able to see the mistake that you made and help out. What he did say, I don't think y'all was listening. I think y'all was just overreacting, some of y'all anyway, because he said that I'm not talking about being a stepdad. He said that. He said, I'm not talking about being a stepdad. I'm talking about doing what Sean is referring to, which is create programs in which these kids can be a part of. I mean, if you look at sports, I mean, that's one of the reasons a kid will be derailed from being a problem. So as a former teacher, and y'all may know this, that like the kid does not get to participate in a sport until 7th grade in most schools. But if you go check out and see what's going on in 6th grade, them boys is horrible. Okay. But when they realize that the coach, and it just happens, when they realize that there's a consequence because the coach is going to do something to them as a result of them being disobedient and defiant in the classroom, their behavior changes drastically in the 7th grade. Okay. So it is not trying to alleviate the guy that did not take care of his job, right? But that's going to happen, that people are not going to do their job. And that's a reason why there needs to be programs in place to help those be better. Case in point, it should be here on King Talk that we're trying to teach young men how to vet a woman, how to do a better job of being a man, whether it's step of your game financially, physically, and all the likes. So to say that you're not responsible, Jay Stanza, as a man, to say you're not responsible for a community issue, then you will be considered a part of the problem.
Question: you think those programs is really gonna like stop what's going on? Be honest.
Yes.
You really think so?
I just gave you an example, right?
So,
I literally just gave you an example.
These programs, this is not the first program. The program, whatever program y'all referring to, is not the first program. There's been programs going on for years. It's not working.
That's
Some
not true.
dudes are just thugs.
Can I answer?
So Stanza, are you saying that
Let me answer your question real quick.
programs with basketball and football?
Hold on, y'all.
Let me answer this question real quick.
Go ahead.
Okay, are they working? Yes, that's what Sean is communicating, that they are working. There's not more of them. Okay, that is what Sean is communicating. So what I just said to you is that a 6th grader in middle school is a problem. The boys, there's more problems with 6th grade boys than there are 7th grade boys. Specifically, those that participate in an organized sport, because they have a coach that will hold them accountable. That changes the dynamics of how they are in the classroom as well as outside of the classroom, is what I'm saying. So are they working? Yes. That's why it needs to be more.
But what happens when they graduate? What happens after sports? When football, basketball is done, what happens after that?
Then more than likely, and Shan can speak to this as being in a fraternity and being on a college, or anybody on a college campus, they will get into spaces where they will attract who they are, right? And if you go to the military, you definitely gonna have some discipline, right? If you go to I'll put it to you like this: once you have been in a system that does not tolerate you being a problem in society, your mindset is not going to be the same, right? So, for example, were you raised by a single mom?
Yes.
Okay. Are you a thug?
I'm not gonna clarify thugging or not, but I've definitely participated in that.
Are you a Pookie or a Ray Ray?
I mean, what's the definition of Pookie? A man who sleeps with a lot of women? If that's your definition, yeah, I've been with a lot of women. But
I didn't give a definition. I'm asking you, are you a Pookie or a Ray Ray?
No, I'm just a man who slept with women.
Okay. Do you have a lot of baby mamas?
No, I don't have any kids.
Okay. So would you say that was a result of you not having a dad?
Why I don't have kids?
No, yes. No. I'm talking about being a Pookie or Ray Ray.
No, it's because I like women.
Right, but you also seen the absence of father. Right. So if there were men that were in your space to explain to you what it is to be a man, it's less likely that you would be the way that you are.
Sir, that's not true. There are guys out here who got 2 parents in their household or grandparents, and they're still in the street. That has nothing to do with it. You're looking at this. Why can't we acknowledge that these are just who they are sometimes? This is who people are. That's just who they are. Some people are just straight thugs. Some people are just killers, head busters. That's just who they are.
That's not true. That's not true. If you look at it as it relates to, and we on this show, we always talk about generalities, right? And we talk about what's normal, right? The reason why the society is the way it is because of absence of fathers. You can do as many, you can look at all the research you want to. It's because of absence of fathers. So yes, the woman may have made a bad say she made a bad decision and who she chose, right? And so now she's raising a kid, a boy, raising a boy, and she cannot teach that boy to be a man. So yes, the community needs to come together and to help that boy become a man. That's what it is.
I disagree.
Hold on. Are you telling me that the women are like, you know, that they are looking for a certain type of guy? They are not picking men based on, okay, is this a good man? Well, what kind of heart does he have? What's his education level? They're looking at a man. Oh, he's physically appealing. The same way we look at women, that's how they look at us too.
And humble that. I wanted to add this. I have no problem, and this is I have no problem with a woman going out and say, for instance, she did mess up, right? She messed up. Hold on, wait. Let me start by saying this. In your analogy with if I mess up somebody's head, the difference is when somebody else comes in and fix my mistake, that person has to pay that person. They don't get the mistake fixed free. They got to go and pay another person to cut their hair. That person doesn't do it for free. It's not a charity work. It's not a job. He doesn't feel obligated to fix that person's hair. He just knows, hey, look, you're going to pay me, I'll do it. But to add on to that, I have no problem. JR, they're saying it's choppy.
Yeah, I know. I was just talking with Michael behind the scenes. Let me check it out real quick before we start. He said it was happening on somebody else's stream earlier, so it could be a stream issue. I'm already doing it at 720, so I can't drop it down no more.
Okay.
Let me just go ahead and see what it sounds like.
I hope you're recording this thing. We just go out there and rock it out then. Repost it. But I said this before. I said I don't get why it's so hard for women to find a replacement.
It's bad. Hold on.
I don't know. It seems perfect on my side. Everybody's smooth. The audio's good. The video's good for everybody.
Everything sounds good on my end too. Yeah.
I think through StreamYard is good, but when you go to YouTube, it's choppy.
Yeah. On StreamYard is good, but on YouTube it's not.
Oh, okay, got you.
Hold on. Let me see. Put a 1 in the chat if it's good. Put a 2 in the chat if it's still choppy.
Ain't nothing we can do at that point.
It's just choppy on YouTube.
Oh, let me see.
Hold on, mic check. They saying I'm getting a lot of twos. Mic check.
I can drop down my.
Sweet, it broke the stream with that bullshit.
There's nothing we can do, JR. If it's clean on the StreamYard side, but it's choppy on YouTube side, there's nothing we can do. That's the API doing that. So all we can do is just keep going.
All right, let's go ahead and keep it going. But let's just keep it going.
They good now.
So one thing I said a while back, and this was a few shows ago, we was having a conversation about stepfathers, and I said it shouldn't be that hard to find a replacement, right? If you fuck up on the first one, fair, I get it. You made a mistake, right? But why is it that you continuously choose bad men after that? And then not only that, part of the reason why men don't even want to become stepdads anymore, because it's not even something that's respected in the community. It's not even respected. So a man can't even come into the house.
I'm cutting you off only because you're not addressing what he said. He's literally said he's not talking about stepdad.
No, I get that. What I'm saying is that I don't think that it's the community job to come in and wrap our arms around the bad decisions of individuals. It's their job to fix their problem first, because it starts with family first. You don't get to build a horrible family, a bad community, a bad household, and then come to the community to be like, hey, look, I know I keep making mistake after mistake after mistake. Can y'all please fix it for us? No, there's plenty of decisions that you could have made between not only with all this birth control, not only with all the reproductive rights you have, not with all the decision making that you come into play with the men that you choose in your life, and for men with the women that you choose in your life. You have all these decisions you can make, and then y'all make a dumbass decision, and then you look to the community and say, "Oh well, we need y'all to come in and pick up the pieces because we don't know how to get shit right."
No, they don't look at the community though, Sweeney. That's not what they do. right? I, and I understand your point, and that's the challenge that I have. I think that it's important for us to hold both people accountable. I want to make sure that that's understood, right? However, as a leader, well, I know that as a leader that I'm going to have to do something if I want to see change occur. Now, if you're just here just because you want people to see that you're a barber, then and you want to get some likes so that they come to your shop or something, then that's so be it. I'm not saying that's what it is, but if that's what it is, then you don't really have a legitimate argument, right? But if you are an individual that's saying that you want women to change, or you want men to change, you want our community to be better, then you as a man, you are required to be a leader to find out what can be the solution. Because unfortunately, women are not necessarily listening to dudes, right? But a man will listen to another man. So for example, I don't rock with no dude that is a Pookie or a Ray Ray, right? I don't rock with him. However, you know what I'm saying? If the dude is not taking care of his kid, then and I'm in a position to help, then I will. Case in point, my uncle, who I love to death, he's a baby of 8, right? If my uncle did not take up the mantle to help his siblings take care of their kids, because all my mom's sisters are, I would say, single mothers. If he didn't step in and help, then the guy that you see, you wouldn't see. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. How about that?
Yes, sir.
Do you think majority of men are Pookie and Ray Rays, or they're decent human beings? Majority of black men. Do you think we fall majority on the side of most of us ain't shit, or most of us are good and there's just bad apples in the community?
Well, I'll answer this and I'll let it go. I think that most guys are not necessarily Pookies and Ray Rays. I think that most guys don't have a plan or a vision.
Okay, so trying to find a way to say this without sounding horrible by saying.
Well, you can't, because I just dropped the mic. Go ahead.
Also, you hold Sweeney. Let me get some other people in there now. All right, go ahead. With a purple pill. What's your thoughts about it?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we're shifting accountability a lot. The women need to be held accountable just as much as the men. The big thing, though, is that the best way to make the community better is for you to be selfish, ironically. Like, sometimes being a little selfish is actually good. Focusing on yourself and becoming a better man, getting a family, having kids, that's how you help your community. Because when you have a family and kids, you don't have to go and take care of some other woman's kids. Like, you just have kids. Your kids play with their kids at school. You notice that that's a single mother who has a kid. You always invite her kids to your family's events, and you go and do stuff with them. But you do that through your own, you do that through your own success. Like, you're not really going out of your way to do anything. Like, it's just a natural thing that happens when you're successful on your own. It's just going to naturally happen if you just focus on building better leaders of men, just being family men and stuff like that. But I really think that we're shifting a lot of blame. You were saying earlier that or like what he says, is that black men are to blame. It's not black men at all. It's definitely just men in general are kind of in blame, because it's just the powers that be. Men are the ones that made all these laws. Men are the ones that put feminists into the position that they're at right now. It's not black men, period. And it's really stupid whenever it's pointed directly at just black men, because it's a scapegoat. Like, it's not just black men. It's one of those things that it's just to tear down black men. It's stupid, honestly.
All right, let me get Luis in there.
I agree with that statement, Purple Pill. It's not black men, it's weak men with no backbone. I wrote a lot of stuff down. So one of the things I really want to start off is, he made a comment by saying, he said it was systemic. And a part of me, was thinking to myself, don't we have free will? You know what I'm saying? To participate. You know what I'm saying? People make decisions every single day. People negotiate every single day. Every day is a negotiation about everything, how you choose to live, how you wake up, and the things that follow. I believe it's a little bit more complex when he made the comment about, we've allowed, Black women to become more masculine. The world outside inherently is hard. It's harsh, very competitive. And it forces, people to, bring out that masculine essence out of them. It's hard, it's competitive, it pushes you, it challenges you, and it forces you to transform in something outside of your nature sometimes, especially if you're a woman, because there's an instinct to survive and thrive and push forward. One of the things I do want to kind of challenge you on, Purple Pill, was you did say, make a family, what I'm saying, have kids, so like that you're not worried about somebody else's kid. But at the same time, I also look at it from this perspective. If I'm married and I have a wife and I have kids, but I see a sister who's struggling and she's walking down the street with her 2 kids, and I notice that her kids go to the same school that mine's do, and I see her that she's working an extra shift, and I go to her and I tell her, "Hey, sister, I see you struggling over there. How's you let me, I'll help you out with your kids. I know they're in basketball. I could pick them up and drop them off. We live closely by. They could have dinner with us. When you're
Yeah, no, I agreed with all that.
Shift, right?
Yeah.
But that
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there,
I agree with all that.
yeah, that right there is a more proactive choice as opposed to kicking somebody while they're down. I'm not really much of that, but I think that there is a certain way to kind of navigate that, especially if you're trying to stitch, community back together and bring that essence. If 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 we were in the community, as he said, Pookie and Ray Ray wouldn't exist. But I mean, the harsh reality is that there's a Pookie and Ray Ray that exists in every community. Unfortunately, there's always going to be some seeds that are going to pass by, and they're just going to be the low-hanging fruit at times. But I think with more proactive presence in the community, these types of things don't become sort of a pandemic themselves. What I'm saying? Like you said, your kids are your responsibility, but I would say that we abandoned the family. We didn't abandon Black boys. I think we abandoned, the value systems of what community means. What I'm saying? Not the Black boy. And all of these created conditions in the aftermath. And here's a classic example of why we need to, and here's a classic example of why we sometimes run back to the entertainer and not run to, people that there's already in the community, such as teachers, there's tradespeople, there's business people, there's mentors, right? These people exist. You know what I'm saying? Like athletes, rappers, and entertainers are all good. And I understand, to Sean's point, there is something about them that they went through the struggle and they grind it out to make it up on the other side of it all. So they can relate to somebody like that. But I would also argue that there's somebody there in that community that exists that still has a strong presence there, who hasn't left, who still participates in these interventions that, reduce the scale of violence amongst other young men, who's active in these other programs like the Boys and Girls Club or the Big Brother, Big Sister program. All these things are really out there. And I just think that more ideas need to be brought forward as opposed to problems. Like I always tell one of my project managers, don't tell me about your problems. I want to hear your solutions. How are you?
All right, go ahead, Shannon.
Sweeney, women do not look to the community, because today you cannot correct someone else's kid. You can't correct people's kids no more. Lewis, offering help to the sister, her son goes to your school, your son's school, Lewis. Niggas ain't doing that, Lewis. Niggas ain't checking for their neighbor and saying, "Oh, you know what? I see that you can use some help. Let me." That's just, I know it sounds good, but in reality, that's not really happening. And here's the thing. Here's the rub. And if you try to do it, you get denied today, because ego. Ego is killing all of this shit. If you were even to do that, you'd be suggesting to her that she's a failure. And you know you can't correct women today. So to say, hey, I see you struggling and I know your son is having some issues, you know, maybe you can go to school. That's just, I'm at the playground. If y'all watch my story, I'm at the playground with my kids every Sunday. The thing is, I am with Sweeney, Purple Pill, Jay Stanza, Sharon Bracey. I think I'm probably going to be with B. Madden. Humble Dad and Sean and Dr. Umar. Y'all tripping. You know, that I rock with Dr. Umar. By and large, I support Dr. Umar. I support his message. I like that brother. I know a lot of people don't like him. A lot of people in the Black Manosphere don't like him. I like Dr. Umar. I've supported him. I've always supported him. I've defended him. I've donated money to FDMG. But this shit here that he talked about on that podcast, the problem that I'm having with that is he's absolving women for their poor choices. And we cannot absolve, we got to stop absolving people for their poor choices. He ignored 3 decades of Black men becoming stepfathers. I know, Humble Dad, he wasn't talking about stepfathers, but he was. He said it, but he was. But the message was, even though he was talking about programs, and I'll get to that. Because for 30 years, man, men have been stepping up with no return on investment from the mother or the kids that they helped. I was there. I'm in LA. My father, 42 years with Los Angeles Unified School District. He retired from Audubon Junior High. Anybody from LA know Audubon and Crenshaw High? Y'all know what I'm talking about when it comes to Audubon. My father retired from there. You cannot build a mini Wakanda with an uncooperative and unwilling woman. You can't, you guys. I know you think you can based on all these ideological theories of just jumping in and helping people. They don't even want help. Consent of the governed. Consent of the governed. I've said it 1,000 times. Consent of the government. You want me to take control of the community? Modern laws allow followers to not be led if they don't like the leaders, how the leaders make them feel. It ain't like we can shake somebody up and get them in line when we see their kids doing bad. Who are you talking about? You can't even talk. When I grew up, I got a whooping 3 times before I got home to get the final one. I got whoopings from my principal. We had paddles with holes in them when I was in school. You can't even talk to kids now. Crazy. Kids know they can call authorities and they'll lie on. You forget about your neighbor trying to correct the kid because you'll see the mother. What you say to my son? You want me to lead you guys? There has to be followers first. It becomes a circular argument because you talk about programs, not stepfathers. I get it. But Humble Dad, you know they're not signing up. Humble Dad, the Sigma Beta Club, it's empty. The Kappa League, it's empty. They're not signing up for the Sigma Beta Club. And I'm not a member of Phi Beta Sigma. You are, Humble Dad, and you know they not running to sign up for that club. Thousands of what I call perfect men of Phi Beta Sigma offering their assistance, and they can't even get the women to bring the boys to sign up. The reality is it's the first 5 years that are the most impressionable for any child. Women lose control of their children after the first 5 is already burned in. It's too late. After the kid is 16 years old, that's when they want to find help. But when the kid was a kid, where it didn't matter, when the impressionable years was there to make sure he went the right way, you couldn't tell her shit. She was dressing him up and putting earrings and little 2-year-olds and putting Gucci on them and treating them like an accessory when it mattered. And now when he's in the streets and it's too late, you might get, oh my God, where did I go wrong? I need some help. You can't tell that nigga nothing now. He's 16. with a blicky out there ripping and running the streets, and he come home when he want to. And she ain't running to the Big Brothers Club. She's not running to the YMCA. You want me to coach these kids? I need players first. Parents have to sign their kids up. The father of these babies are not 80% of the black men. And what we're doing now, and this is the part that I have, we're asking the good guys to be the cleanup men. We're asking the good guys who did it right, who didn't become Pookie, which is by and large most. More black adult men do not have kids. Most black adult men ain't no baby daddy. The other 30% is married. So what we're saying is, now that I'm lost control and I don't have any help, for the women that even have the ego or the humility to ask for help, which is a slim to none in and of itself, can you good guys who I ignored when I was in my sexual prime and didn't give you no play, come help me with this badass baby of mine because his baby daddy ain't around no. Come on, man. That's absolving women for their poor choices. We tried that before. We tried it and it didn't work out. And we see how they treated the men that actually did step up. And that's where we are today. So now I'm of the mind, bruh, you lay in that bed, you made that choice, deal with it. We can't save it. And the thing about Umar, which is, I like him, but he's he's arguing against himself. He got videos prior to this. He got videos saying some of these kids you gotta let them die. You gotta euthanize them. You can't even correct them. He got videos of himself saying that. He got videos saying some of these kids can't be fixed. You got to put them to sleep. He said that. He argued with Cynthia G over at Fox Soul, completely against everything that he's saying on this podcast. He's fighting himself. So I'm almost like, come on, Umar, what you doing here? I have a feeling I know what he really thinks, but I know he needs to get that school going. I know he has some donations to collect, and I know who his largest base is. And you got to pander to your base. I'm sorry, Umar, I got to say it, but that's what you're doing, brother, because them brothers was hitting you with some good information, and you know better. Sean, you know better. Humble Dad, you know better.
I think you're outside of your
absolve people for their bad decisions anymore. We used to do that. It didn't work out. Now we got to try something new.
May I ask a quick question, real Shannon?
Yes, sir.
Like that's why I said I had a hard time with my position, but I see where he was coming from, what I'm saying. So you as a boss man, right? There's been employees that you've had that have made mistakes, right?
Was that last part?
You've had employees.
Say that part one more time.
Yeah. As a boss, you've had employees that have made mistakes, right? So when they make the mistake, you may let them go, you may manage them or correct them or whatever. Nevertheless, the mistake is still there. So whose responsibility is it to correct the mistake, right? If you decide that the mistake was so egregious that you let them go. You as the boss are going to have to figure that out, right? Or you're going to have to you're going to have to figure out a way to teach that person that made that mistake not to make that mistake again. Now, granted, you have more leverage, right? Because you're the boss of said person, right? And I'm saying, I'm paralleling it to that, yes, these women have made a mistake. And if we want the community to be better and to thrive, then as a collective group of men, we have to say, this is what we're going to do to fix it. There was a situation, I think it was in Louisiana, I'll drop it here, where it was chaotic at the schools. I don't know if y'all remember this a couple years ago. And they had all these dads that came, I think maybe 30 to 40 dads that came up to the school.
Report Louisiana, yep.
Okay. And because the dads were there, things changed, right? They could have said what some of y'all are saying. Just let it go. I mean, the moms is out of control. The moms are not doing whatever they need to do. They even went above beyond administration because administration wasn't doing a good job. So they took it upon themselves to try to alleviate a problem that wasn't necessarily their problem. But they understood if they don't do something now, that later it will be a problem with theirs.
Exactly.
So, and this is
no, he didn't.
Go ahead, Shannon. My bad. Go ahead, Shannon. Go ahead,
You
Shannon.
spoke way too much.
I only spoke. No, go ahead, bro.
Hello, motherfucker.
Oh, we got to
Think
go to
about the
B-Madden.
brothers that have yeah, we're going to be mad. Think about the brothers in Louisiana, and I touch on this, and I hear what you're saying, Humble Dad. It's a complex problem. You know what I'm saying? It's a complex problem. My issue is absolving people of responsibility, saying it's on us when we have a situation where women don't have to follow you. The difference between an employee and an employer is you get a paycheck, and if you don't do what I say, you don't get your rent paid. The difference between a coach and a player is if you don't listen to the coach, you don't get to play. Right now, there's no ramifications for motherfuckers not listening in the community.
Stop you because you're uninformed. You keep saying this, but you're uninformed. So look, let me tell you because what you're saying is very uninformed.
Well,
so
hold on, let me finish. I'm not uninformed.
The programs
Sean,
I ran.
I'm not done.
The programs I ran in New Jersey.
I run programs out here in LA too. Listen, let me finish because we've been on this. I want to pass it to B-Man. I just want to say this.
Leverage, but what you're saying is untrue. I'm just gonna say that. But please,
I got
continue.
you. I'm untrue. I don't know what I'm talking about, Deshaun. So, as an esteemed member of Alpha Phi Alpha, you know what I'm talking about, Sean, which is the truth.
Yeah, I know, but I disagree. I'm just because I do this.
Okay,
and there's no disrespect. I'm just saying what you're saying is correct.
I'm simply now the brothers that happened in Louisiana. You know they had to do. See what it doesn't get televised is they tried to do that in the community without doing it at the school. You don't hear that part in the news. The parents didn't want it. The moms didn't want it. So the fathers, the men that had to step up, they had to go to the school. They had to catch the kids at school. They couldn't do it in the neighborhood after school. The after school program they tried didn't work. So they had to do it during school to catch the kids there. And what they did was they got unruly kids at school to be more cooperative at school, hoping that what they caught at school would rub off at home. We don't know the outcome of that part. That part isn't somehow the media doesn't catch that part. And they don't mention the part that they tried to do it in the neighborhood and it didn't work. So that brother was like, yo, we got to take this to the school. There's nothing they can do when we on camp, when the kids are on campus and the parents is at work. We over here, we're going to help these teachers out. And the teachers need help like a motherfucker right now. All teachers nationwide, shout out to you for all the tolerance that you guys are dealing with these kids, because they need as much help as they possibly can get because the parents are blind to that. They're treating school like daycare. And so that's why that program really worked, but it didn't work at home. And that's one of the issues I'm having with absolving the responsibility of parents, because right now iPads is raising everybody's kid. Roblox and Fortnite and VR games and all that kind of stuff. People are just maintaining their kids. They're not raising them. The kids can't read. It's why? Because the parents aren't even making them read a book, a page, a sentence at home. They don't even give them homework right now. My sons don't get homework. It's weird to me. What do you mean there's no homework? Oh, they need to take a break. And we're thinking about giving them an extra hour of sleep before school. We're trying to pass that initiative. It's like, yo, what the fuck is going on? And I think the whole point is to keep people dumb. I know we talk about smart, no child left behind, but I think they want to keep these kids dumb because the dumber they are, the more they'll be needed in the workplace.
They'll fall in line easier.
But go ahead, be mad.
You go ahead, be mad.
Damn, Shannon, I go after you. I mean, hell, you've been cooking, my brother. That's all I got right there. Shannon over here cooking today. He cooking tonight. Sorry earlier, guys. I was having some technical issues and all that. But anyways, jumping in, I was able to see the clip real quick. First off, I need to put on the record and say this. I know Dr. Umar personally. I have hosted a couple of events with him and panels and emceed some events with him. I've actually donated money to bring him to come speak to a few events in Texas as well. So this is years ago. And so I respect the brother dearly. I love what he's trying to do and what he's attempted to do in the community and what he's done when it comes to his studies with young black men and black boys in the schools and all that type of stuff. I'm here for that 100%. But kind of like what Shan said, he did contradict himself a few times. And I don't agree with everything that he says all the time at all. But I do support the brother and I support what he's trying to do. But anyways, with that being said, I don't like the idea of putting all the blame on men and black men especially. And like you said, kind of like what Shan said, absolving women from all of their bad decisions. When it comes to who they choose to be with, who they choose to lay down with, who they choose to make children with, and who they choose to help or not help raise those children, especially those young boys, and the help that they may or may not be getting from the community, from their brothers, from their cousins, from their grandfathers, from their any other male that's around them in their family. I am a big believer that if you really want to invoke change in your community or in our community, you have to first take care of yourself first. Get yourself together. Men, get your finances together. Men, get your situations together. Get your work situations together. Get your business together. All that on point. Every brother out there needs to get as rich as they possibly can get. You become as wealthy as you can get. Not saying you got to be a cajillionaire. What I'm saying is that make as much money as you possibly can. Okay, find your queen and then be fruitful and multiply. Okay, the best way you can change a community is through example, leading by example. And that's you having your household together, your wife together, your family together, your kids together, and show that as an example to the community. Because once you do that, those type of that type of behavior is infectious. It's infectious. And the thing is too, as your children grows, your kids need friends. They're gonna have friends in the neighborhood. They're gonna have friends at the schools that they go to. You're gonna meet other young brothers out there. You're gonna meet other single mothers out there that do need help. And the thing is, it's gotta be a natural thing. It can't be forced. It can't be like, hey, I see, young sister, I see you failing with your son over there. Let me help him out on Saturdays or Sundays. You can't do that. You can't do that. There's too much pride. There's too much ego. There's too much going on there. It has to be a natural thing. And when you're working in your purpose and you're working and moving in a natural state, in an honest state, and being the real natural person that you are, things just attract to you. Vibrations is a real thing in this universe. So when you're vibrating a certain level, people are attracted to you. People want to come to you. They see how your kids are behaving, how they're acting, how they're being raised, how you're keeping your home in order. Okay. And again, that has to multiply. So again, you handle yourself, you get your stuff together, you get your wife, you get your kids, you got them in line, you got them together. And then what happens then your friends are doing the same thing. Then your homeboys are doing the same thing. Everybody in your circle is doing the same thing. Next thing you know, a whole neighborhood is starting to act a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Now you're invoking change in that part of town. Now you're invoking, and there's programs out there. There's different things out there. Humble Dad, I hear you. You know what I'm saying? Sean, I hear you about the programs and all that. That's real. It does help people. It does work. It can work. It can work. But I'm not saying it's working in mass. There's a lot of things broken. There's a lot of things that are not attracting these young men to join some of these clubs. And people talk about role models and stuff in the community and whatnot. Everybody's looking up to rappers. Everyone's looking up to athletes. Everyone's looking up to, other celebrities and that kind of stuff. Those kids are idolizing them because they're getting money. They're idolizing them because they're getting money, they're getting women, they're flashy and all that kind of stuff. But that's not the only way to get money. They don't see Robert F. Smith on TV all the time. They don't see other Black billionaires. They don't see other Black multimillionaires that got it creating apps, that got it having Amazon stores, that got it doing whatever practice that they have. They're not exposed to that in mass because, just be honest, at the end of the day, like Dr. Umar said, this is systemic. And there's an agenda behind this. There's media behind this. There's social media behind this. There's movies behind this that is, getting on these kids' minds, on their iPads, and the women too. The movies, the TV shows, it's pushing a particular narrative that is destroying the Black household, period. So we can't sit up here and blame men. We can't blame Black men. We can't blame all the women either. It is a systemic issue that is affecting the majority of people. And the individual is smart, but we all know when it comes to mass people, and you want to mass put something on TV, and you want to mass put something on the internet, people are going to be swayed. And if you don't know better, if you weren't raised differently, it's going to be really hard to think outside of that small ass box. That's all I got.
So how do we unplug from that, B. Madden? Like,
wait, hold on. Let me respond to a bunch of the bullshit that was said.
Hey, can y'all let Bracy go?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about. I believe that you should definitely build your household up and tend to your kids. But my only problem is this: so after I built my kids up, I got them reading at a higher level than everybody in the neighborhood. I'm sorry, my kids are not going to play with your degenerate kids. I'm taking my kids out of that situation and be around other children that's at their level. I'm not going to sacrifice my kids so your kids could get better. I'm sorry. I'm not going to have my house in the hood where I'm doing my lawn. I got my siding up to par and yours looking raggedy, across the street looking raggedy. And then guess where they're going to come in when they're hungry? They're going to come knocking on my door? No, that is not happening. I'm not sacrificing my kids to better the whole neighborhood. No, I'm going to take my kids to a better neighborhood. That's how that works. And the reason why they look to the celebrities, these rappers and basketball players, because they represent what they think what they look like. They don't think they look like me, the construction owner. That's the problem. They don't want to see me coming home with dirty clothes. That's not the representation they want. They want to look fly. The new rappers is the modern day version of what I used to look to the dope dealer. So that's why they look up to them. It ain't this grandiose thing of that thing that B$50 say. It sounds great, that kumbaya thing, but that is not going to change the neighborhood. It's absolutely not. Keep your kids away from my children.
Bruh. Go ahead, Sean.
All right, so y'all said a whole lot of bullshit. Let me be clear about that, right? So what I'm understanding, bro, y'all ain't never walked around with a 16th of dope in your mouth. You ain't never had an 8-ball between your ass cheeks.
Nope.
You ain't never cooked up a 62, bagged it up, went on the streets and took penitentiary chances. Niggas won't listen to you because you ain't never done none of that. I'm not saying you should have done that, but I understand why y'all have the opinions y'all have. Y'all ain't never been on none of these front lines. You ain't never been in danger. Your kids ain't in danger. I get that. That's cool for y'all. I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking to the niggas who they will listen to. From a nigga who's done this, right? On both sides, right? Everybody listens to somebody. I don't care how violent you are. I don't care what type of illegal shit you do. Everybody listens to somebody. Your goal, if you're not a pussy, your goal, me as a community organizer, is to find the people that they listen to, get those people to push them in the right direction, or to become the person or people that they listen to. You don't have to do it. I'm not telling y'all to do it. Y'all don't want to do it. Really don't give a shit, right? But to what Shan was saying, Shan, you were talking about leverage. You were talking about employees who have to do a certain thing because they get a check. So in New Jersey, I ran programs called detention alternative programs. Anything I'm saying, y'all can look it up. Middlesex County, New Jersey, youth advocate programs, detention alternative programs, right? And so there are shitloads of them. What happens when a kid comes in contact with the juvenile justice system, they get put on probation. If they're coming home from jail, they'll be on probation or parole too. So what will happen is they'll have to be in a mentoring program, and they have to be in that program a certain amount of hours for a certain amount of time in order to get off of probation. So what happens when they get in these situations, you now have the leverage you need to push them in the right direction. So what you're saying, I understand why you're saying it, but I'm saying those things exist. And there's a thing called the JDAI. And so through JDAI, a lot of these detention alternative programs exist. We have the same Google. Y'all can look it up and see I'm not capping. So those things are in place. They work. The thing is, to DMT's point in the chat, you'll never eradicate violence. You won't. But what we try to do is make incremental progress. If Chicago has 900 murders this year, the goal is to have 400 next year. It takes time. The problem is the money. White people who have people who have a vested interest in the violence existing, control the money. And when they decide the money goes away, the program goes away. And then the level of violence heightens again. And we have to do the same thing again. So you need sustainable funding and you need self-propagating programs. But these things do work. Y'all don't see that they work because there's no way for you to see it or measure it if you're not involved in it. And to the point about building your own household, you can do that all you want. But when your kids come outside, either they're gonna be food or they're gonna be considered. JR would know this. I'm from Morgan Park. We were always at war with Ada Park. My neighborhood was, which is where Silk is from, King Von's dad. People in the chat don't know. Y'all might not know who that is. Whether I was with the jungle or not, I was with them. Whether I was GD or not, I was with them. And they're going to treat me just like them. It doesn't matter. So what I'm saying is I could have been in the perfect household, but just because I'm walking to school with my household friends, I'm going to be shot at just like them. So y'all can have this imaginary thing in your head.
That's not true, bro. That's not true.
It is true.
My parent purposely moved me out that very neighborhood. I didn't have to experience that because my parents got their ass up and moved me out the neighborhood. So no, I was not getting shot at like the rest of my
move you out the
friends.
neighborhood, right?
My parents were regular people. My parents worked regular jobs.
And so JR,
my mama was a secretary. My pops drove trucks.
Okay, cool. So you had two parents, right? So we moved from 60th and Vernon. JR would know what this is. That's down the street from Old Block, which is what they were talking about in the chat. So I went to Dulles first, which is right next to Old Block. That's my first school for anybody in the chat. So I'm from that area. Then we moved to the Hundreds because my grandma bought a house for $40-some thousand. You know what I'm saying? And so we got out there and it was fucked up too. You feel me? And so what I'm trying to say is everybody can't do what your parents did. Shout out to your parents. Shout out to your parents. But we was on public aid, bro.
My parents were on public aid.
Had a can of pork, the silver can of pork with a pig on it that said pork.
My parents were on public aid, food stamps, all that.
Everybody can't do that. That's your situation. So the other thing, Shan, you talked about the Kappa League and people not signing up. They're not signing up because those are not the type of niggas that are embedded into the community. And this is not just for the Kappas. This is for my fraternity too. My criticism of my fraternity is we're not on the front line of anything. We're not leading in any of this shit. We just tag ourselves on the back end of things. Pause. So we're not doing anything that makes it puts a dent in any of this. So that's why they're not signing up. Also, Lou said that a lot of these issues were systemic, and they are. Somebody else mentioned it. Maybe B. Madden said something about being systemic. Things are systemic. The problem is, what I hear from a bunch of y'all is that you want the system to exist because you niggas didn't talk about solutions. All you talked about was the problem. You highlighted the problems. You push blame on the men or the women or whatever you did, but you never said a solution. So the system exists because of niggas like y'all that say, oh, well, it's just systemic. Okay, nigga, but what's the solution?
The solution is to let y'all fail.
Okay, well, let them fail. But that's not those of us who want to help. We gonna do this shit.
Swing. How does that
I will say this though. Sean, I will say this. I agree with you on one aspect because you said people like me, I didn't live that life. I never had to walk around with crack in my jaws. I never had to do any of that stuff, right? You are absolutely right. You want to know who were doing that shit? All the Pookies and Ray Rays. The same motherfuckers that was walking around with crack in their jaws were also the same motherfuckers making babies out of wedlock. They were all the same. So when you said, hey, they do need to come back to the community and do right by the community. You are absolutely right. I am 100% agreeing with you. Take your ass. If you was one of them Negroes that was doing wrong in the community, get your ass back over there and fix it. But don't sit here and look at the 80% of good men that have been doing the shit right. We did it right. We got our kids in good schools. We moved our kids and did right by our kids. Don't look at us and then tell us you need to come back to the community and do something for the kids because we didn't fuck y'all up. Y'all fucked y'all up.
It sounds like there needs to be a mandatory parenting program for 9 months, prior to this child showing up into the world. Because what it seems to me is that a lot of people are really winging it. These people who are parents, whether they're single, whether they're in a relationship,
bro, that's scary.
They're really shooting from the hip.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
So you're saying they should have a license?
Yes, I said this.
You gotta have a license to have a kid.
I swear to God, I said this to one of my boys. On a car ride to the casino. This was about maybe 8 years ago. I remember this, and I was like, because we were talking about a specific situation. I was like, I feel like people who are gonna have kids should have like licenses in order to have kids because they be raising stupid kids. They can barely afford kids, but they can't certainly afford stupid kids, right? Because they're certainly not passing down the right information that they need in order to put these kids in a better situation. Reading to them, making sure that they're well nutrition, they have the right nutrition, right? That they're avoiding certain programming that is detrimental to their learning, right? Staying away from other people, keeping them busy, putting them in school activities, right? And there's something that Shannon said that really hurt me, man, when he made that comment. I was like, because I do a program in the city, and it's nothing but girls that show up. It's like 90% girls show up, and there's like no boys. And one day I had asked one of the parents, I was like, I'm curious, do you have any sons and stuff like that? Oh, I can't get that kid to come. You know what I'm saying? Like I tried to drag him in the car and stuff like that. So when he made that comment, I really felt that impact because I honestly had that conversation and it really slipped my mind to not even bring that up. You know what I'm saying? That does happen.
That's because boys want to be outside. Like if we ain't running, hitting somebody or somebody's hitting us, we do not want to be involved. We do not want to leave our household, go to a program where we in another so-called household. That is not what young men want to do. And also with this whole license to carry a kid thing, that is insane.
License to carry a kid.
Because that takes up the nuance of human beings. You know what I'm saying? Because just because I come like the young men that come up from, the whole rose from a concrete, that is what makes them a celebrity and a star because they had such humble beginnings and they became this big, grandiose human being. So if everybody that is already established just have children, it's going to be one blanket type of human being.
They did it in China.
You know what happens is
right. In America sells ideas, and most of the
a lot of
ideas
people are raising weapons of mass destruction in their community. All those shooting,
but you understand that that's the part of the part of the
process.
The system.
Yeah.
That's the part of the process.
Hey.
So that's what it is. So it makes sense. And why would they want to regulate who has the kids? Because they already know that there's going to be individuals, Pookies and Ray Rays, as we keep calling them, are going to create an environment that's not suitable for productivity. I mean, even people, if we're talking about work from within, I mean, there's dudes on the panel that don't even believe in getting married. You know what I'm saying? So
what?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So if you're saying that that's a part of building a community, then you would be considered part of the problem. If you're not talking about trying to do a program and you're not talking about being married to be able to foster the best possible outcome for your kid, then you are a part of the problem. You don't even need to be sitting up here. You know what I'm saying?
My last 2 points. Y'all got to stop saying that black boys don't want to go to these programs. I got to keep saying this. I've had a 20-year career of black boys coming to these programs. Once again, those from Chicago will know 40th and King Drive, there's a big church right there on the right side. That's where my program was from. What was that? My after school program. The things that drew them in. We helped them get to college. We helped them get out of high school. We did truancy intervention. We had cooks that cooked fresh food every single day. We had a basketball court in there. We picked them up right from Phillips. Anybody from Chicago know Phillips, right on 39. We had vans. We picked them up from Phillips. We brought them there. We dropped them off at the end of the day. What I'm trying to say is your job as a community builder is to install the things that make them want to come. I don't have the luxury of saying they don't come. My job is to figure out what will make them come. So everything with me is strength-based, and I hear a lot of people up here that are not strength-based. I'm not trying to talk shit. I'm just passionate about this because I do this, and I feel like it's being mischaracterized. It has to be strength.
Bro. Like that's
what things work. You
doing.
know what I'm saying? I really do think I would benefit from really doing research on the outcomes, the measurable outcomes that are out there that are evidence-based that show what actually works. I can tell you, but it's literally out there. The other thing, fuck, I forgot the other thing.
Sean, I got a question for
Hey,
you.
Sean, I'm going to address you. Real quick, Sean. First off, you being on the front lines and doing what you've been doing for the past 20 years, I just want to commend you real quick because I think that's amazing. Like the heart you must have in order to do that work for as long as you have, and to, you know, try to be innovative and to continue to, you know, be creative and find new ideas to get those kids in there is amazing. I just want to say that first and foremost.
In the meantime, he's fucking all the baby mamas.
Right, yeah.
He on the end of the programs because he be smashing them mamas. Sean be getting that pussy.
Not a single one. Never. Not a single one.
You out of order, man. You out of order. But the second thing is that I think you are talking shit. You keep talking shit. You definitely talking shit. But you got some shit to talk, but you talking shit. I'll say this. You're in a different place in these kids' development and kind of where they are, where you're helping and assisting. You're assisting kids that it sounds like you're assisting kids that have been through shit. That been in the streets, that's done dirt, that's done detention centers, all that kind of stuff.
Rehabilitation and corrective programs.
Right, exactly. And more so where I was coming from, where I was rooted from, is kids that are kind of starting fresh, you know, because it kind of like Dr. Umar was saying when he was talking about throw some of them kids away. That's where he was getting at on that. I don't believe you should just throw them away. I'm not going to use that verbiage for me, but I get what he was trying to say. Where I was coming from when you build your families and as your kids grow, they're gonna have friends too. Kids that are like-minded, kids that are on their stuff, that all that stuff is infectious. And every Black community is not a war zone. I need to say this shit. Every Black community is not the hood. Every Black community is not the war zone. There are plenty of Black communities that are suburban. There are plenty of Black communities that are peaceful, that is not gunshots every 5 minutes. It's not Chirac. It's not other places like that. That's just, you know, you got your rags out. You got your GD. Every place isn't like that. And I'm not saying that to ignore the places that are, because that's some real ass shit. But that's not my life. I didn't grow up that way. And I'm not going to pretend like I know all about that shit, because I don't. I didn't have crack in my drawers. I didn't hide. That's not my life. But
you went in Cabrini Greens and shit.
I wasn't in Cabrini Green. I wasn't in the mirror. I wasn't saying certain names in the mirror. None of that. I didn't do none of that.
But be mad at it. Isn't it much easier to raise young boys than it is to fix broken men? Because the ones who are out here, the ones who are out here doing that are far too gone. Like you can't, like those individuals needed an intervention like probably 10, 15, 16 years before.
Yeah.
Right now
No
they're
doubt.
just way too deep. They, like
so Luis, to answer that, like most of the
one that
mentorship,
Dr. Umar Johnson is talking about, that those are the individuals that we might need to put down in order to take back the community. That is
exactly
what it is.
They're the ones that are a little wild. They're the ones that's already too far gone. They already out there. But that's where most of the mentorship that I've done, and you know, some of my other brothers have done too, is, you know, mostly through sports, coaching camps, doing all the stuff in the summertime and whatnot, like mentoring kids that way. You know what I'm saying? Mentoring kids, showing them entrepreneurship and that type of stuff. I mean, kids that come to you and say, I want to learn, or I look up to you already, or, you know, you've already had success in this area, I want to know more, you know. So there's a reason why, like you were saying earlier, the sixth grade boys were acting up way more than the seventh grade boys were. You know what I'm saying? That whole attachment of, I can be a part of a team, I can be a part of something that's bigger than me, is huge. Doing something with your boys that doesn't get you in trouble, that's fun, that gets you shine too, that the girls like you more for it too, is big. And that attitude does straighten up. They're going to do what the coach tells them to do because they want to get playing time. They want to shine. They want to show that they can run for 100 yards. They want to show that they can catch footballs. They want to show that they fast and strong. They want to show that, you know, basketball, all that stuff, track. They want to shine. They want to show that I'm special too and I matter too. That's what these kids, that's what these young brothers really want to say and get out there.
Sean, I got a question for you really quick.
All right, we're going to have that question. We got to move on to the meat of the conversation. Go ahead, Sweeney.
Right. So I am not in disagreement that you said that your programs work. I believe that they do. My only question is, because you said black boys want to be a part of these programs, what percentage of the black boys in your community actually do the programs if black boys want to do the programs?
I couldn't quantify that. I don't like to try to, I think we get on here too much and be like, oh, 87% of this and that. I think it's bullshit because most of the shit that people on YouTube try to quantify is unquantifiable.
I mean, I think it's
a way of quantifying that.
I think it is easy. You can look at the number of boys you tend to have in your program, and you know that how many kids exist in that neighborhood that's going through whatever they're going through. That's not a hard number to come up with.
He did speak on the Sweeney, like for instance, like Sean's a member of Alpha, and they have something called, I think it's called go to high school, go to college. They have go to high school, go to college. They have Project Alpha. So, you know, and we have Kappa League and the Sigmas have Sigma Beta. The thing is, if the programs are boring, ain't nobody signing up. And a lot of times we're already business minded, college minded, and whatnot. And we ain't out there hooping or playing rap music and doing all the fun shit. We ain't going to drive, you know, K1 go-karts and all that kind of stuff that the kids want. So then they don't even want to come to those.
Come on.
So it's boring program. It's boring programs, but they're there. They're boring programs. And then if we try to go out, at least in the Kappa League, if we try to go out and recruit motherfuckers, the parents is looking at us like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
No, that's the point I was actually speaking to, is that while it may be true that you have boys, there's a lot of, you know what I mean? I get it. There's some, when you got the boys in your program, the ones that are enthusiastic about it, gonna show up and they're gonna do well, but that's because they're already enthusiastic about the program itself. The problem is that you can't get any other boys in because, like y'all just said, don't nobody rock with it. The parents don't want to do it. The parents ain't even influencing their kids to do it. But again, who does that fall on? That fall on the parents that raised them.
Come on.
But that's what I'm saying is, you asked the question about what percentage of the kids in the community. That wouldn't even be something that would even matter, because all of the kids in the community are not a problem. If my target population are kids that are, so I'll give you an example. The other thing I was trying to say, and JR will know this because he's from Chicago. One of my programs in Woodlawn was, we got 100. This was stimulus money from Obama. So when y'all say Obama didn't do shit, I get mad every time because we got millions of dollars from him. One of my programs, we got 100 kids that are on the truancy list, the most at-risk school kids at Hyde Park High School, which is where King Von and all them went. And so the grant was for 100 kids. We ended up with over 150. The goal was, we had a drop-in center right next to the school on 63rd Street. The kids will come there to the drop-in center, at facilities. We had crisis counselors. We had everything they wanted. We took them on college tours and everything. I got pictures and everything of all this. And so what we did, it was a holistic approach to all of it. And so they came every single day. But what we also did, I started doing things inside the school. So we ended up with an office inside the school. We did talent shows, fashion shows, and it had speakers and everything coming into the school too. So we got immersed into the community, the high school and in the community. And so, long story short, if you build it right, they will come. You're not going to get everybody. You're not going to save everybody. But once again, what we're looking for is incremental progress. If you can save a few hundred lives, you know, in the course of a year, that's great progress, especially if one of those lives could have potentially been your son. So, you know.
All right. Let me go ahead and get to these super chats so we get to the meat of the conversation. Big G's composition, $2 says Sweeney already. Stepdaddy, how much you want? BMTZL $10 says Shine capped them after programs are band-aids. The culture glorifies beef, so they fall into it regardless. Ask the shorties who are out there doing the killings. 43rd and Princeton. DMTZL $5 says, name me one major neighborhood war in Chicago you stopped, Sean. You stopped No Love City and Tay-Town. Y'all stopped O Block in Tuckerville. Big Jizz composition $2 says, men need to fix our own life, not my job to save you. Big Jizz composition $5 says, words don't affect everyone. People make decisions in moments that can't be changed. We are putting the problem on the men who are doing right. It's BS. Greatest to work $5 also member says Umar needs to stick to what he is good at, which is informing about the education system. I coach and mentor kids for 10 years and entirely disagree with him. Chike Auto LLC 499 says, tell him the Honorable Shannon, preach the gospel and let humble dad learn today. Ali 1999 says, too much ego, not enough us. Men have to align and help each other and each other's families by any means necessary. We take our money and put it towards ourselves and superficial instead of the community. Lastly, Ali again 499 says, whites, us, Hispanics, us, Arabs, us, Jews, us, Asians, us, the lost black man, me, myself, and I. Till it's us about us, we will lose. I want to thank everybody for donating, sending those super chats. Now it's time to get to the meat of the conversation. We know the ladies like the meat.
Ow.
With that being said, let's go ahead and hop right into it. Once a woman gives up financial independence to a mate, it's over. Let me go ahead and play this.
Once a woman gives up financial independence to a mate, it's over.
Yep.
Because there's not an equality anymore. And I know I'm going to get a lot of mail. I don't care. I don't read negative mail. Don't send me negative mail. What I'm telling you is you don't necessarily have to use your craft, use your career, but you have to be prepared. Because if you're not prepared, then you're stuck. And more women have to accept lifestyles that are unpleasant because they are financially stuck. So if you're smart, you teach your daughters, teach your granddaughters. Everybody has to have something that they're good at where they can earn a living. You know, not everybody's going to be a millionaire, but you got to learn how to make a living.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Once a woman gives up financial independence to a mate, it's over. Welcome to King Talk. I'm going to go ahead and go to Jay Stanza, and then I'm going to go to Purple Pill Pie. What are your thoughts, sir?
I mean, I don't think there's not. I mean, I personally want my girl to work personally because I'm not trying to sit here and pay for everything. That's just my preference. Now, when you get married, it's a whole different story. Like I said, I don't even believe in none of that anyway. I'm not even going that route. But when I deal with a woman, I prefer to have her own money. I got my own money. And if we want to, you spend some, I spend some, cool. But that's just my preference.
All right, go ahead, Purple Pill Pie.
Yeah, I mean, I really believe like what she's saying. I really think that the best relationships are whenever, like when I coach guys, I actually tell them to get younger women. The reason why is because they're not in love with their job yet. Usually if they're not in love with a guy or they're not alpha widowed or something, they're in love with money. They're in love with their job. Not necessarily their boss, but that boss is basically their husband. And like I really don't like being in relationships with women like that. I've been in relationships like that and they suck every time. I like being in relationships with a girl who sees me as the boss of the house. I don't care if it means that I'm gonna have to pay more or whatever. The woman's always the backup plan. Like my girl has like getting her nursing done right now, so that's like the backup plan. If I don't make money or if we ever break up, she has a backup plan. But for the most part, I'm the one that's gonna be making the bag for the family. Like that's just expected, and that's how it's always been. When women make money, it's for them. When men make money, it's for the family. So I'm just not ever gonna expect a woman to be 50-50 with me or even 60-40 or 70-30. I just don't expect it. Now, if she wants to help out and stuff, awesome. Like, and that's what most women do. Like, a good woman is going to be down for you and help you out whenever you need to. But it shouldn't stay that way forever. It should never stay that way forever.
All right, look like Bracy was agreeing with your Purple Pill Pod. Let me get your thoughts. You want to go ahead and piggyback off what he said?
Yeah, I wanted to ask first of all, he talking about marriage or just your girlfriend? My opinion on well, first of all, my wife doesn't work, right? So therefore, I think that's BS what she's saying, right? So my wife's contribution to the house exceeds way more than financial. That's number one. Number two, if my wife wants to get back into the workforce when my kids get older, her money is not her money. Her money is my money. I don't know where y'all get this idea that she could just go out and work and she just collects all her money and then all your money goes to everything in the house. And what she's supposed to be doing with her money? It's just supposed to go into her bank account and do what? Because clearly that must mean that she is saving up to leave you. So I don't understand. So if she's going to work, therefore that money got to come into the household, and then I figure out what we're going to do with that money to expand that fucking money.
Sharon's in for a rude awakening. It's coming.
Hey, I've been married for 12 years, so okay. I'll stay asleep. I'll stay dreaming.
No, just keep the situation that you got now, which is perfect. What you got now currently is perfect.
Yeah, don't be single, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Don't mess that up. Don't mess that up, man.
Go ahead.
Sharon, he's covering his house. His wife is taking care of the kids while they're young, and even if she does make money, he's saying that ain't her money. But it's more about how you allocate the money. The mentality. See, that's Judge Judy that we just watched. And for those that don't know, Judge Judy was. First of all, I mean that's Judge Judy, and women have to be careful who they listen to. You guys, Judge Judy was married a long time ago, young, and she divorced her first husband because he resented the fact that she was taking her career. And this is back in the 40s, 50s, or well, she ain't that old, like in the 40s, 50s, 60s. And so she divorced her first husband because he was like, yo, in the 50s, he's like, yo, he considered her judgeship or her career in law as a hobby. And she didn't like that. So she got rid of that dude. She married her second husband and divorced him, then got back with him again later.
What?
This is the story on Judge, and that's because he dared her to leave him. She was like, well, he didn't do something, and he was like, well, she said, I'm leaving. I remember the story of this, and she was like, and he was like, okay, we'll leave, and she was like, all right, for sure, I'm gone. Then they got back together, and they're together now. So you got to just be careful. You got to look at the story of when she's saying, make sure you tell your daughters to work and make sure you got something. I'm not saying you got to be a millionaire, but be able to take care of yourself. Well, yeah, every adult should be able to take care of themselves. But to what it sounds like, what she's saying is for women to prioritize that, to make sure that they're good. It's just like what Sharon has just said. It's kind of like you're prepping yourself to break up. And the reality is men ain't running to divorce courts. She's preparing women for something that women do. You want women to prepare to make sure that they're good in the event of a breakup that women break up and do. Men don't run and try to get divorces. Men ain't leaving their wives in droves. Men are typically try to stick it out, hang out, work things out, make the relationship work. Even if he fucked up or she fucked up, we can't talk about cheating because everybody cheat at the same rate. Only men's get publicized, but women is cheating. Just she's fucking the pool boy while he's at work. So and in fact, if you're 30 or younger, women are cheating more than men. So we don't talk about infidelity. The reality is women they wake up one day, they're not happy, they decide to get a divorce. And now she's saying for those women who wake up one day, is not happy, and decide to run off and get a divorce and leave their husband and break up the family, she should have something in place to make sure she's good. Well, how about instead, Judge Judy, you tell women to stop running to divorce court, and so they could sit in front of your judge friends. And y'all can, and I know that's good business for you, Judge Judy and her friends. But how about we stop running to divorce court and we start working out these relationships and stick through the hardship? Talk to each other and make these relationships work and compromise and figure out what the fuck is going on and fix the problems instead of just treating you know, marriage is like a boyfriend-girlfriend situation that you could just break up and leave, ladies, because that's what the women are doing. And she's just simply saying, well, ladies, since you guys are the ones that's breaking up, make sure you got something good after you leave your man. Fuck that. No, teach women to stick it out. Teach women that the importance of duty as opposed to happiness that they're looking for in relationships. And then I think women won't have to worry about if their money is good or if they have you know, or as it says, if they give up their financial independence. You won't have to worry about that if you stick into your marriage and don't ruin your family. That's just my opinion.
I got a question. Why won't we just admit the idea of marriage is over with in 2023? I don't understand. Like this, the old idea of what it was, it's done. It's over with. Y'all trying to fight for something. It's been done with. Like the old dating thing, it's done. It's over. Let it go. Period. Women got money now, hella money. Women not even looking for the same things that men looking for in relationships. Everybody looking for the traditional role. It's over with. Straight up.
Okay.
Jay Stanza, is that what the young ladies? Jay Stanza, how old are you again? 26. Is that what the young ladies are saying? Out in the streets, in the dating streets. If you are our future, Jay Stanza, what are the girls saying?
Women are saying FREE, fuck nigga free. That's what they saying. They not saying I want to get married. They're not saying I'm looking
That's
for
the women that you mess with. That's what it
They're
is.
not saying none of that. No, sir.
No, humble. I don't agree with that.
But look,
Hold on, wait. Listen to me. I promise you. There's in the streets over 30, 40 doing the same thing. BBL surgery changed the game.
I didn't say about age. I said the women that you choose to deal with. That's what I'm saying.
No. So here's the thing.
This is why there's a disconnect between us and that generation, because we always immediately discount what they say. He's in his 20s, bro. What he's saying, all right, we can refute some of it, but if we're being fair, we would have to say, to moderate his point a little bit, not to change your point, Jay, that increasingly less women want to get married. What he's saying is a fair point. Y'all, we're older, so we're much further removed than he is. But what he's saying is a fair point. It may not be all the women. It's not all of anything, like y'all try to make it seem on YouTube. But increasingly, more young ladies do not want to get married, just like more young men don't want to get married. That's a very fair in the Black community. That's a very fair statement.
No, it's not true. I actually do a show and I have usually nothing but panels of Black women, and they all want to be married. They all want to be married. The problem is there's not enough guys that are actually marriageable guys. Most of these guys out here are broke. They don't have anything going for them. They're not on their purpose. These women don't want to be with normie guys anymore. They want to be with guys that like they fuck, because they can fuck alphas, like they can top tier guys. So they want that type of guy to marry or to be in a relationship with. And Jay Stanza, you're just going to the wrong places, bro. I literally coach guys on this all the time, because guys think all women are like this, or not even all, but most women are hoes, or most women don't want to get married. No, you're going to the wrong places, bro, because there's a lot of normal women out here. And if you go to the right places, you will meet normal women. But when you use dating apps, when you use Instagram, when you go to the club, you're going to meet those type of women like you just said.
But normal
that's
women,
what everybody
say that Atlanta is its own animal.
Normal women
I'm
don't
about
want
to jump
normal
in
men.
on this.
Normal women don't want normal men anymore.
I was about to say, Purple Pill, you telling me?
Facts.
Well, at the end of the day, every guy just has to be the best man that they can be. Why are you trying to be normal? See, this is the issue: is guys are okay with being normal today. You can't.
Women
be
are normal
today.
Women
you
are
cannot
normal.
be normal.
Women are normal.
Yeah,
These women are normal,
let
though.
the
That's the
women be
problem.
normal.
These
Dude,
women are
all
average
women
as
are
hell that want the ballers. They're average as fuck, and they want
Purple Pill,
all women are average.
let me be honest,
all
Purple
women.
Pill. The women that are coming to your chat, Purple Pill, are not the fucking women he's talking about, and that's not the overwhelming majority.
I'm
and
not
that's
talking
not
about
a
that. I'm talking
representative sample of what's going on in the hood, bro. I'm just being honest. Most people that we're talking about, we were talking about the last topic. Most people we talking about that when we were talking about the last topic, they will never see this video because they're not on fucking YouTube watching us. So what I'm saying is, the people you're talking about, bro, don't fucking watch your YouTube.
And I just said it's your environment, bro. I'm not talking about my YouTube channel. I'm talking about I do a podcast with a panel of women, a panel of black women.
Well, that's not
hold on. Let me finish, bro. Let me finish.
About.
I'm talking, bro. I'm talking. I have a panel of women, okay, and they all come on the show, and they're from the hood of Dallas. I got women from the hood of fucking Dallas, and they want marriage, okay?
I'm here.
And guess what, guys? And guess what? Okay, and guess what, guys? But here's the thing: most guys are fucking average, and most women are average, but they still want the top. That's the bottom line.
You don't find a conundrum in that?
If you look at if you look at the bell curve, there's
you don't see a problem with
that. No, if y'all look at the bell curve,
so Purple Pill, when they tell you,
let him finish.
Y'all need y'all, dude. Look at IQ levels of men and women. If you look at the bell curve, there's a lot of average women, and then there's a lot of guys at the top, and a lot of guys at the bottom, and then there's a few in the middle. Guys on the bell curve are extremely extreme. Women are more average. So in that case, there's a shit ton of average women, and they're all going for the top 10% men. So yeah, they're not going to settle because they can fuck those guys. And if you're mad as a guy, that's your own fucking fault. Go become a top 10% guy. No, stop crying about it.
There
that's
are
pathetic.
men who make 6 figures in Atlanta, and women are still calling them broke.
Mm-hmm.
Then
they're
lame.
Then they're losers. Like, what the hell? Like, why are you making
Purple
You can make 6 figures and still be a dork, bro. You can make 6 figures and be a dork. You can make 6 figures and be a dork.
Purple Pill. What? Purple Pill. Here's the conundrum. You keep saying that you're making the argument that average women want top tier men, so therefore the men are the problem.
No, I'm saying if that pisses you off, saying is there's a bell curve for men. Hypergamy pisses you off. Yes, there's a bell curve. But if
I get the idea of hypergamy. I get the idea of hypergamy. I'm not mad at that. I'm with you. Women are hypergamous. I get it. Here's the tripped out part. Men on average earn more than black men on average earn more than black women. The split between black men and black women in college is still 50-50. So are you telling me that these women can't go to college and they get an education, and you mean to tell me they look around and can't find a man that's also college educated?
I'm saying that if they're hypergamous, the only other thing you can do is become the best man that you can.
But there's not enough of them to go around.
Purple Pill. Look, so what you're saying, right, is a little short-sighted. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Okay, so let's just take your premise. You said the top 10% of men. Most women that are young black women will never qualify for most women, period, will never qualify for the top 10. Just they won't, right? There's not enough men, right? So what happens, what really happens is everything is localized. When you're at the high school level, the top 10% of the men are the athletes, the drug dealers, whatever. When you're in the hood, the top 10% of the men are the niggas that's getting money and the handsome guys. When you're in college, it's the niggas in fraternities and the athletes. So everything happens on different levels. You have to think, you have to zoom out and look at the levels at which people are meeting. So everything is relative. It's long before you get to earning 6 figures. It's the high school level, it's the college level. This is way before 6 figures. So the top 10% of those men, and then we're talking about the women with those people. So what you're saying, I understand what you're saying, but that's a different demographic than what he's saying.
But what I'm saying is, like, if we tell these women, we can't tell these women to settle. I tried this. I teach these women this stuff. You can't tell women to settle and compromise. You're basically telling them to stop having an orgasm for the rest of their life. You tell them to go be with the 50K a year, 5'8" guy. Yes, that's what you're basically doing because they're emotional.
Nobody got time for that.
They have sex with a guy who's 6'4".
Hold on, Purple Pill.
Okay, so hold on, I got it. They're not so based on your argument,
why do y'all step on him, man? Wait, why do y'all step on people?
Yeah,
so let the brother finish.
Like, just because you got a lot of words don't mean that they need to be said, Sweeney. Just let him finish.
I just had a question, but go ahead, bro.
He was talking, though.
I got it. I heard y'all. Go ahead, bro.
You're not hearing this because you keep doing it.
I said go ahead.
No, it's fine.
It's not fine, bro. It's not fine to be disrespectful. That's not.
Well,
Sweeney is constantly doing it. Like, your words are not more important than nobody's, bro.
I get that, bro. That's why I said go ahead.
Pill, let me ask you this. Let me ask you, Purple Pill, and I hear what you're saying. I understand what you mean by the bell curve. You're saying that most women are in the middle, and there's only a few of them that make a lot of money, and there's only a few of them that are at the bottom. That's what you're saying, which is questionable. Yeah. Then you're saying the bell curve for men is it's only a few of them in the middle, and dudes is either down at the bottom or it's a bunch of dudes at the top, which is also questionable.
Yeah, for IQ.
I get what you're saying.
It's for IQ.
Well, yeah, intelligence levels. But the point, I think what we're saying is, and this is what Jay Stanza is. When I asked Jay Stanza, the question is, you know, what's the word on the street? What are the ladies saying? And he's like, FREE, fuck nigga free. And you're telling him, no, these ladies do want to get married. I think you're right, but you're also wrong. And I think Jay Stanza is more right. When you ask people on you, because I watch your show, all the time. You know, I subscribe to you. So when you ask these ladies, do they want to be married? Their yes is really ultimate. What everybody's trying to say is it's ultimately a no. Of course you want to get married. That's like asking a woman, would you like to marry a billionaire? Well, yeah. But since I can't find one, fuck it, I'm not getting married. And that's the ultimate point. I know what they're saying, but in practice, what they're doing is pricing themselves out of the market. And that's where Jay stands. And when she's saying fuck nigga free, if she can't teach him how to get an 8-figure nigga, and she don't get one, she's saying fuck it, I'm not dealing with anybody. Now, what you're saying, Purple Pill, is men just need to step up. Men just need to become better. Men need to be stronger, need to make more money, get their shit together, get their frame right, and just not become average. But the problem with that, Purple Pill, is when everybody moves up, more becomes average. Average is average for a reason. When I was growing up, if you had a Mercedes-Benz of any model, you was balling. Now a Mercedes-Benz is commonplace. You got to have a Lambo. We didn't even consider a Lambo in 1989 when I graduated high school. A Lamborghini for what? I don't want no Lamborghini. I wouldn't even know where to park it. If we had a Mercedes or a BMW, you was the motherfucking man. Today, I got a Mercedes waiting for my son.
And before that, it was a lack. Before that, it was a lack. You had Cadillac.
Having a Benz today is average. And so now that the average has gone up, find a woman that is impressed by a Benz. That's cute. I think it's cool. But where's the Rolls Royce? So even if men did what you said, Purple Pill, and all moved up together, and we all leveled up, and we all became $100,000 men and made more money, which a lot of guys are, what difference does that make if now the ladies are going to say, oh, well, that ain't shit? That's what Jay Stand is saying. That ain't shit. 100,000 ain't nothing. I need a nigga I need a 7-figure man. And that's what's happening right now. And these are coming from average ass women who don't make no money.
I get that.
So even though they all want to be married, Purple Pill, they really don't, because what they're asking to be married to, they can't get. They don't even know anybody like that. So they're passing up all the dudes that they actually qualify for. And then you know that, Purple Pill. I think you know it.
That's interesting to say because I'm gonna go right before you, Purple Pill, because this is a problem that I have. It's specifically to the dudes on the panel that don't want to be married. Right? If you don't want to be married, what's the point of you having a complaint? If you don't believe in marriage, what's the point of your complaint? Like, you're not looking for marriage. You're not looking for a woman to marry. So why does it matter to you if a woman wants to be married or not? Right? So that's why I don't understand why you would say anything, Jay Stanza, as it relates to marriage, right? Because you already said you don't want to be married. So why would it matter if a woman doesn't, if she wants to or not? Right? So, and then because you're the one that flipped the script as it relates to the conversation, right? And so the conversation is about, like, well, is it over? You know what I'm saying? Once financial independence takes place. Well, it's really about a man's character, right? And you can tell by what a man says and how he responds to others, what his character is like and what his integrity is like. So I'll speak from the situations that I know. I'm around a whole bunch of dudes as it relates to business owners, as it relates to principals, contractors, all the likes, right? And so what I see, these dudes are being faithful for the most part, and they more than likely are taking care of their woman. Me, for example, my late wife, Jen, she didn't have to work. You know what I'm saying? If she wanted to, she could, right? I bought a house, we got 2 cars, all that and more, right? So then I transit, and we have 4 kids together, homeschool, all that jazz, right? And I'm not no rich dude, but I know how to deal with money, right? Then I lose my wife, right? And now it's a situation where I have to transition and look for another one, right? And so because I have the mindset of knowing that what it looks like to find a wife, I know where to look, right? And so happens, you know, it comes out of where I wasn't even thinking that it was going to come from. But needless to say this, now the woman the wife that I have now, she's a business owner, right? And she make her own money. and she made good money, right? So, however, because she knows that I have a vision and a plan, and I put that into place and I presented that to her, that she was willing to be my wife, because that's what I'm looking for, and this is what I explained to her. The problem that you have is that you don't see the value in being married, so therefore you think that marriage is nothing. However, because you don't, you have nothing to say that other than because you deal with trash women. That's what it sounds like.
That is not true.
Hold on. Let me jump in. Hold on.
I dealt with hood rats. I dealt with women who have degrees. I dealt with women who are pharmacists. I dealt with women who have master's degree. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. I'm telling you. The problem why I speak on the marriage part is I'm trying to help men. Are you prepared to step into this arrangement funded by the government? I have a question for you. Does being a good man guarantee your wife is faithful to you? Honestly, I'm not talking about just your marriage in particular. There are a lot of good men who wives step out on them. This is a fact. But
what does it have to do with anything?
Nobody wants to talk about this. Y'all trying to say, oh, I'm a good man. I got this, I got that. And that guarantees my marriage is going to work. And it's not true. There are a lot of wives out here with a good man at home going to girls trip, getting they back blown out, going to All-Star Weekend. This is a fact. Hello.
All right, so you said a lot.
The same value system.
So what I'm saying, with the thing about what you're saying, Jay, is interesting, right? You're right. You're right that there are some women, right? It's not the majority, right? If we be talking about these stats and things of that nature, and so this is the thing that's important for you to hear, right? I did not say anything about a degree. I did not say anything about going to the club. I just said, what I said is you deal with trash women, and they can be from any particular economical standpoint. Is what I'm saying. Right? And I'm telling you that as it relates to cheating, you can just have a woman that you kicking it with. It's more likely that she gonna cheat on you than the married woman.
But you're not invested with a marriage. That's what I'm saying to you.
Hold on. Let me jump in here, Jay Stans. Let me jump in here because I agree with where you're going with it, brother. Here's the deal, Humble. I think it's unfair that you can sit here and tell Jay Stanza that he can't speak on certain things because he doesn't want that. The question that was brought to him was, what's going on outside? That was the question. What's happening outside? That's what Shannon was asking him. You know, he said, you're young, you're 26. What the ladies out here saying? And he said, they're saying, I'm FREE, fuck nigga free. That's what he said.
But he brought up the part about marriage, though. Be mad.
Hold on. I got you. He said a lot of these women are saying that they don't want to be married. He's outside right now. He's trying to give a perspective of what a lot of the outside women are saying right now in that particular age range. That doesn't mean all sisters don't want to be married. That doesn't mean all sisters want to be single and all sisters want to be fuck nigga free. But the ones that are outside, the ones that are 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 in the club, outside, Sunday fun day, at some of the dope places, that's what's going on right now. I think Shauna agrees with me as well, too. He's outside. That's what he sees. That's the environment that he's out in his age group, and that's what he sees. I'm outside. I see a lot of the same shit. So what he's saying is not wrong. That is very real. And what's happening, Humble, hold up, man. Hold up. You're going to have all day. Hold up. You got on people jumping on purple pill and messing with his whole talk, all right? So, what's going on outside and today's women, the young women today, Humble, you can't speak to that because you don't know nothing about that. You don't know nothing about what these young women are talking about and are doing and how they're moving these days. These girls out here talking about Pound Town, I'm outside, act bad. You don't understand a lot of these women's mindset and how they're being marketed to today. Okay, and how the modern you don't?
Well, I'm saying why wouldn't I know?
Okay, let me ask you this. You said you've been married before, correct?
Yes.
And you just getting married again, correct?
Yes.
Okay. How old is your new wife? If you don't mind me asking.
How old is she? She's 41.
Yes. Okay. She's 41. We talking about women that are half her age. Okay.
You
We
gonna
talking
ask
about women that
her
are
age
half
first,
her
then
age.
make a point? Okay.
B-Matic,
No, I'm
can
serious.
I speak
I'm
for Humble
serious.
Dad?
We're talking about women. No.
Let me
Because
speak
I'm
for
not done
him,
with
bro.
him yet. I'm not done with him yet. Because I want to address Judge Judy. I want to address Judge Judy real quick. The world is different. The world is changing. These women are getting more and more modernized, and a lot of this hot girl summer, all this kind of stuff is different. Okay, we've never seen these women like this before, not in mass. We've seen them in spurts. We've seen them in spurts with like Adina Howard and all that kind of stuff in the 90s. You've seen, whole activities, all that kind of stuff. We've seen some of that in different spurts. The Juvenile, 1999, 2000, back that ass up. Okay, but now you can't tell the difference between the good girls and the hoes now, because they all like the same songs, they all dress the same, and they all shake their ass and twerk to the same shit. So it's getting harder to tell the difference. Are there a lot of good women still out there? Yes, but they have a lot of the whole girl tendencies and how they move around. So it's different out here now. When you're talking about the thing is, I'm in between. I'm in my 30s. So I can date down to the 20s. I can date the 30s. I can date the early 40s if I want to. You know what I'm saying? So I can go across the board, and I'm seeing different type of women in different places in their lives. Some of the ones in their 30s, they're kind of chilling out a little bit. They're like, I'm not as bad as I was, but I'm still looking good. I got some of this fat sucked out of my stomach. My ass is fat. I look good. I can still be outside. I can still do some of these things. Once they start getting the mid 30s, late 30s, they like, oh, I need a husband. Okay, all right. Okay, the 22-year-old girls, they got it now. They owning the club right now. They owning outside right now. Let me go ahead and okay, where'd that accountant go again that I used to kind of talk to, but not really? He's a little bit of a simp, so I didn't really give him no play for real. Where did he go? You know what I'm saying? Where'd that construction worker go? Where did he go? He making some good money. He's doing okay now. Where did he go? The one that I passed over when I was 23. Where's he at? Let me hit him up. It's a lot. It's different now. And then 40, 41, they not, some of them are back outside because they just got divorced. Some of them are outside getting some dick. Okay. And then some of them are still single, trying to find that husband. So they're different. It's all, and then the thing is, they got money now. The ones up there, late 30s, 40s, they got money now. So they're even more picky in a different way. So that's another thing. When it comes to Judge Judy, financial independence, she tripping. She's Judge Judy. She is the leader of that household. She make all the money. She make all the decisions. She's in her masculine frame. That's why she's acting like that. That's why she's moving like that. That's why she's giving the women and the little girls that type of perspective and that type of advice because of that. But if you are making the money as a man and you're running your household, I think it's great. I think every human, every person should have some type of income skill. I think my woman should have a high income skill. She should be able to do it as a hobby, make some money. That's cool. Keeps her busy. I'm good with that. But the priority is the kids. The priority is the household. The priority is, have we eaten? Is the house in order? That's the priority. That to me is your main job. Those are the important things that I care about the most, especially if I'm covering you, this household, the children, and everything around here. I grew up in a household where my dad made more money than my mom, and my mom didn't have to worry about too much. That's how I moved too. So that's what I look for. That's what I aspire for as well. My woman makes some money. That's cool. That's fine. We can throw that in there too. Vacation funds, savings, all the other things, we can play with that. But at the end of the day, all the advice she's given is detrimental to women and to women who want to be married and stay married. And I land right there.
We're going to get Louisa now.
I think all those things you described about a woman If you want to be married, anything that this man described about a woman, you run away from her if you want to be married. That's what I would say. Simple. If she listened to all them songs that you were saying, if she in those goddamn clubs like you saying, run away from that hoe. Because they already explained to you what she is. It is that simple. You need
The
to go.
problem is they're all doing it though. They're all doing it. That's the problem.
We already said it ain't no
So
such thing
like
as
that's
all.
not
We
true.
already said no such thing
There's
as all.
some good girls
So
that
listen,
don't,
you need to
bro.
go find a woman that's in the
Listen to the
goddamn
same stuff though. But where they at then? Like put Jay Stanza on. Let's talk about where you find them, where they at, and Humble. You can speak
wherever
on that too,
Jay.
because
What you need to find out,
You
B
can't
Madden, is find out wherever Jay Stanza go, and don't go there. And then you might be able to find you a wife.
So where
That's
do
how
you
you
go?
do it.
Where do you
Because he's
go?
going to the places where the thoughts are at. So therefore, you need to go to maybe a bookstore, a jazz club.
Most
You
men's
go to a jazz
wives are
club.
former
You go
thoughts.
to a jazz
Most
club.
men's wives are former
jazz
thoughts. They
club.
just retired. They just retired.
See, look, he's shaking his head. You see that? See that? He's shaking his head at jazz club. Maybe you should go there because he is not going there. So therefore, if you find a woman there, it's a
I'm
good
at the
chance.
jazz club. Them hoes is in there too.
There's hoes
Right.
in there too.
There's hoes in the jazz
I'm at the
club.
jazz
They
club.
are.
I'm at all the. I'm at the fucking. I go to the.
I love the jazz
to the
spot.
jazz festivals. I'm at the Frankie. I'm at the
I ain't
club.
say
I'm
no
at the
festival.
Luhuka Lounge. I'm at the bars. Them hoes is in there
There
too.
too. They shake ass at all
Stanza, there's
those
one.
places. They
Stanza,
shake
there's one
ass
cheat code.
everywhere.
Stanza, there's one cheat code, bro. Hit me up, Stanza, and I'll show you the cheat code. There's only one place, bro. I'm telling you.
Hey, Stan.
Everybody doesn't understand the game today, but there's one place you can go.
Go hit him up, Stan.
He gonna say overseas. He gonna say overseas.
Right, keep those girls pure. If you have a bunch of marriageable women, keep them away from Sansa. He ain't trying to get married.
He's gonna send Santa to an Amish community.
Sharon, you kind of look. B. Madden alluded to something, bro, when he talked about when he was talking about the women, bro. Like us being in fraternities in college, and I'm not trying to talk shit about women, y'all. Please in the chat, I'm not trying to talk shit. I'm just saying you can watch women run through a whole chapter. Certain women, they'll run through our pledge, and there's 7 of us. They will fuck all 7 of us, knowing how close we are. You feel me? And they'll run through different lines of people. They'll fuck half the team, the football team. And I'm not trying to talk shit or be funny. I'm just saying this is a true thing. And then B. Madden said it, they'll get married. And so a lot of times, like when you talk about women in college, you know, women will say they have their whole phase in college. Now they may become a pharmacist, a doctor, or whatever. But those of us
look like a hoe.
who was
Tell
active,
me, Sean, they don't even look like a hoe. They look like the cleanest, most innocent motherfuckers too.
exactly. Those of us who was active, we know you might be a pharmacist or whatever, but we understand what that whole facts reads that you feel me? You was active. Now I ain't judging you. I'm just saying they end up being
It don't
somebody.
be the big old it don't be purple braids. It don't be blue hair. It don't be long wrapped across. It be the most innocent, clean, pretty.
They
wholesome,
look clean, pretty, all
clean
that.
face, no makeup,
Hey, Sean,
regular
all I'm saying
backpack wearing
is,
trick.
hey, Shannon, all I'm saying is like, if she's reading Harry Potter books, you might have a better chance. You know, that's what I'm saying.
Hey,
you just might have a better chance.
What was that, Bracy? What was that?
You know, she's
Say that
reading
again?
a Harry Potter book. She's reading the Avatars, you know, books. You know, the Power of 4, the Power of 5, and all that. Those I Am Number 4 books. You might have a better chance of finding a woman that's not a.
Hey, I want to.
Them anime.
No,
hoes.
she want to play. No, she want to play Quidditch in the bedroom. What you mean? And yes, Shannon, them anime hoes, they on.
Yeah, them anime hoes are different. Hold on,
them anime hoes is different.
I ain't say no cartoon. I said a book.
That's a fifth dimension.
I said a book. I ain't say no anime because now that's starting to be a little hip hopish now too. So that's right along with your hoes and everything. They starting to watch the anime because you know that's part of the.
All right. I want to answer the question. I disagree with some of y'all on the Judge Judy thing. And so for me, having a 16-year-old daughter who's going to be 17, there's no way in the world I would have her yielding to y'all sons, right? I want her to go through her path. I'm going to help her become a boss, right? And she's going to have her own bag of money. What Judge Judy said is basically being qualified, but not having to actively do that career. Sharon said his wife doesn't work. Now, we don't know, Sharon hasn't said it, we don't know what she's trained to do. We don't know her profession that she could do if Sharon's grimy ass decided to leave at some point. You know what I'm saying? Because she don't like him without the beard. You feel me? The point that she was making, hey, look, man. Hey, all the women love Sherrod the Beard, you know. Hey, but my boy Sherrod, without the beard, this nigga been on demon time, snapping on people. But this is my guy right here. But nah, real talk though. Seriously though, a lot of times with these questions, bro, Sean, the man, my answer has been different until I thought about what I would want for my daughter. And everything I want for my daughter is for her to avoid a nigga like the nigga I was when I was younger, bro. It's to avoid niggas that sound like some of these niggas that's on YouTube. I don't want her yielding to some nigga because I will do bodily harm to a nigga that tries to control her. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is making sure that I get her to where she needs to be as a responsible adult, to be the best version of herself. Y'all want men to be the best versions of themselves. I want my daughter to be that, because that's my job. And the other part of that is my family doesn't have a lot of professionals. So everything that's generational wealth that's being built is me and one of my brothers building it. And so, you know, adding to that legacy is the next generation, my nieces, my daughter, and my nephews and things like that. So it's very important that she is successful. Whether she gets married or not, she has to be. And so that's just, you know, my thing on that.
Sean, so is it safe to say that you are not making sure your 16-year-old daughter will be a wife? You're making her to be a boss.
So that's that's secondary thing for me. Primary is her being successful. Absolutely. So it's not the primary thing for me.
All right.
So what is?
I don't think every man is going to be a husband, and I don't think every young lady is going to end up being a wife.
Do you want your daughter to be a wife?
If that's what she wants, yes. But it's not a requirement for me. But if that's what
you
she
got
wants,
put her in position. You got to put her in position to where she learns all the wifely duties too, though.
That's not something I care about, right?
No, let him raise his daughter exactly how you raise him. I'm not here to question that.
But as a mentor, though, you know that you have to provide whoever your mentee is the keys or the tools to be able to do multiple things. You don't want to just raise your daughter to be an independent woman.
Why not? Who don't? You say I don't. You don't. I do.
Man, hey.
You don't, but I do.
Yes,
right?
it does.
So her mom,
I'm saying you do. I apologize. You do want to do that. What I'm saying is that you should, as a father, want to give her the opportunities to be a wife.
So I'm like, in some ways, I agree with Jay Stanza, right? I don't feel like a woman has to be married to be validated in life. I feel like lots of times women force other women or pressure women to get married. I'm not pressuring my daughter to get married. You know what I'm saying? And so y'all can carry how y'all feel like y'all want to carry it in y'all household. Now,
no, that's not what I'm saying, bro. I'm saying why not give her the opportunity to be.
Her mom will teach her that part, but that's not what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody do whatever they do differently. The way that y'all raising y'all sons,
no. We're not going. That's not how we go. See, then that makes you a contradiction, Sean. Sorry, because a few moments ago you was talking about how we should, as individuals, come together and like the programs that you do, that you should mentor individuals and let these dudes know that the path that they're going is not a right one, right? And so I'm telling you, as your peer, is that the way that you're raising your daughter, you're not giving her an opportunity to even become a good wife or a solid wife or somebody that would want to wife her. You can't say, I don't care about that. That's not my job. That's a contradiction to what you've been talking about before.
Because boss women get wiped up every single day. It absolutely makes no sense what you're saying, because what you're saying is what y'all keep saying on YouTube is that women who are
stop saying YouTube, bro. I don't care. The realest niggas out here. That's not me. I don't care.
On YouTube niggas on YouTube intimate that women that are successful, women that are qualified don't get wiped up. That is absolutely untrue. I married her mother. Her mother is a scientist. Her mother has a master's degree. So what I'm telling you is that that's not my primary goal with her. Now,
I don't care.
Her mother teaches her different things because her mother is a Christian, right? She teaches her different things. Y'all are acting as if she's not getting those things. So I'm saying my primary thing for my family, for my whole family in general, is to create successful little people. Because the previous generation and a lot of my generation, we're I hate to say it, okay, they have unrealized potential. I'll say it like that. And so what y'all think should be a priority for my family, I don't give a fuck about. I know my situation better than y'all. So I'm not going to allow y'all to tell me what should be the priority for my family.
I don't care. So how is that different than you having a mentor program? I don't understand. So the reason why you have a mentor program, right, is because there's somebody that's not doing what it is they need to do to help their sons be better, right? That's the reason why you do that. And so I'm saying to you, I'm telling you, you telling me I shouldn't tell you nothing. That's like you telling the mom that you shouldn't tell her nothing and how she raised her kid. And I'm telling you that's false. That's not okay as a community. And I'm telling you as a I guess I'll say a colleague on this panel, that in the way in which you are raising your daughter, okay, now if you're loving your wife and you're treating her how a husband should treat his wife, then you are showing her how she should be, or how she should look in finding a husband, or what a husband should be like. But for you to say that is not a part of your priority, that is not okay as a father, is what I'm telling you. And and that's what I do. I interview dads.
You heard me respectfully. I said that's not my top priority. I said that's a secondary priority.
Okay.
I literally said secondary. I didn't hear that. That's my top priority.
I apologize.
I told y'all can't tell parents nothing. Didn't I tell y'all that?
I know, but
I just have a question though. I just got a question for Sean real quick. Sean, do you like do you want your daughter to be like happy after 45 years old?
I do.
Okay, well, the size demographic of women is single women above the age of 45. So, and what you're doing is putting her down the path of that, and I'll explain to you why. When women start to make money, it actually makes them more independent. It's not going to make it to where she's going to want to have children and a relationship or marriage or anything like that. And the thing is, like, women are depressed later on in their life because they're meant to create people. Men get depressed later on in life if we don't create things. That's what we're meant to do. If a woman doesn't create people, humans, like she does, then she's going to be depressed later on. And I'm just going to say that, I'm not going to say to change anything or anything, but just think about your daughter being depressed in the future, and maybe just switch up a little bit on like the success thing or like the money thing, and maybe push a little bit more on how to find a provider or how to find a good man, because those things might make her happier in the future. That's all I'm going to say.
Purple pill. Whatever book you use or whatever websites you get your stats from, bro, I never want my daughter or anybody with common sense to read that shit, because everything, once again, by training, I am a chemist. I'm a scientist, bro. The things that you keep saying are stats, bro. The things you keep saying as stats are things that are easily refutable, and there are things that are not easy to quantify. So you keep throwing these numbers out, bro, and they don't mean anything to me. It means absolutely nothing. You talk about women over 45 being this and that. Well, here's the problem, man. Y'all say these blanket statements, bro, and they make no sense.
Based on numbers.
So we're saying that. So what y'all are saying is that young ladies who were raised in a household where the priority is achievement don't get married, and
Nobody
that
said
they're
that.
somehow.
Literally, no one said that.
Some magical survey talked to every single one of them, and they're less happy than
Literally, no one said that.
But then y'all also talk about most chicks are raised in single parent households, which means dad was not around to do any of the shit that y'all keep talking about. So if y'all get on here every fucking day and talk about single parent households and blame the mom for shit, that means dad's not around. So how are they getting the shit that y'all are saying that I should give my daughter? How?
What are you talking about? You just made like
I'm saying
so confused
women still
now.
get married. Women from single parent households still get married. Y'all make correlations. Y'all make correlations that don't correlate, bro.
Bro, you're making an argument nobody made.
Y'all should have just backed down like I did.
Yeah,
I asked Sean the question. I said,
why would I do that, Shannon? Sean was shooting earlier.
Because you can't tell people nothing.
That's his household. That's his kid.
That's his household. That's how Sean was gonna raise his daughter the best way Sean believes he needs to raise her, and that is
his right.
And that's his right. But also, Shannon, that's why we here though. Like we iron sharpens iron.
Look, let him do him.
Listen to what I'm saying, but I'm gonna say what I'm saying. You feel me? So I'm saying
I know you
this.
are humble dad.
Absolutely, man. Listen,
Every time.
every time, bro. What I'm saying is, it was a contradiction to say that as a mentor, that he's going to mentor young dudes in a certain way, but then he doesn't want to receive mentorship and explain to him how he should raise his daughter. Like, that's insane.
No. But that's a false equivalency. Absolutely. So with mentoring, right? Once again, I spoke about the right types of people mentoring. I said that you all should not be the mentors. I spoke about specific people having the credibility and the cultural competence to be mentors. Everyone should not be a mentor. Jay Stanza, I'm sure you already know this nigga because you look smart. Purple pill, don't ever fucking call this nigga. He don't know what the fuck he talking about, bro. Your dick could be dry. Don't listen to this nigga, bro. He don't even look like a nigga you would hang out with.
But Sean,
you look like you would fuck all his women, Brody. So
Sean,
don't take it like this.
over.
Hey, look. Yup, young lame niggas become old lame niggas, bro. Don't take it like
Sean, let's compare each other's girls. Sean, let's compare each other's girls and then we'll talk, bro. Let's compare each other's
unbelievable.
girls.
Listen, most women, and most. I don't have any daughters. I got sons, so I am raising my sons to be great husbands. I'm gonna teach my sons, who just 5 and 8 currently, to when they get older, that they will be able to be great heads of household. I want them to be successful where I failed, right? If I had a daughter, I can't say, because I don't. It's all hypothetical, and I think what ifs are meaningless. But I do believe that a lot of fathers who have daughters, they see their daughters and they remember how they were. They remember the fuck nigga they was, and they're like, damn, I gotta prepare my daughter to combat niggas like me. Because niggas like me is slick at the mouth and will turn my daughter into a 304 faster than I can blink. So I got to make sure that she is on her money. She's on her career. She gets her PhD. She makes sure she is concentrating on her bag and all that. So she will never get her heart broken to be left in the streets by some pookie ass nigga like I was once back in the day. But now that I've had a daughter, suddenly I got the light. And suddenly now I have a daughter, I all of a sudden want to protect women. I didn't give a fuck about them when I was fucking them all. I didn't care about them before I had a kid. But now that I got one of my own, suddenly I got this fucking, I suddenly want to take care of them. The thing is, this is what a lot of us are battling. This is what a lot of us are. I believe that daughters should be raised to be, because ultimately, I don't care how many expense reports women do. The job is going to hold her out more than any man ever will. The workforce is going to hold your daughters out and leave them in the past with nothing more than anything else will. Any nigga in the hood could ever do. The damage is long term. That's where the spinsters come in. But we don't see it. Typically, dad dies before he even sees that shit. So I'm simply saying, when we hear men that are raising daughters to be, at least Sean is there. So that's why I'm like, yo, I don't have no beef, because at least he's there. Think about the motherfuckers whose mothers aren't even letting Sean be around, or niggas that don't even want to be around their daughters. So whatever Sean is doing, congratulations. I don't agree with it. I believe that Sean is prioritizing the wrong thing. I believe that if I was a girl dad, I would do it differently than Sean, but I'm glad Sean is doing his best.
I will say this. Sean's doing exactly what I expect any father to do when it comes to their daughters. He wants them to grow up and be able to take care of themselves. The thing is, what Sean's job is to be the father that he wants his daughter to marry, and his mother's job and his wife's job is to be the mother his daughter should, make sure to aspire to. So he technically is doing his job. And as long as his wife is doing her job, their daughter should come out fine on the other end of this. She should relatively come out okay on the other side of all of this.
That's the balance. Is mom teaching her the women's side? See, that's the problem that we run in. I'm not tripping on the guys, because the guys is gonna simp out. From what I understand, guys melt for their daughters. I don't know. I don't have a daughter.
Yeah,
but for the guys that have daughters, don't y'all melt for your daughters? And she's the princess, and that's part of the reason why women have the entitlement that they have. They feel that they can do no wrong because their dads didn't fucking give them the corrective measures that they gave their sons. You know, he was hard on the boys. Stop crying. Stand up. Get up off the ground. That's what we tell our boys. The girls, just cry. Oh, come here, baby. What happened? I get that. I understand that. But are the women doing the counteractive part that Sweeney is talking about? Saying, okay, I'm glad your daddy took care of you. Now, let me explain to you how to be a good woman. Let me teach you how all these things that you need to know to do this other side. The problem is if both parents is doing be a boss, we don't have a prayer.
You know exactly where she's gonna wind up at.
I don't do that with my daughters. With my daughters, I do not do any of that. They could do all that crying and try to pass them off. I don't care about none of that. You's gonna do what I say. That's it. Ain't no.
Yeah, I'm tough on I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm tough on my daughter too. So
me too. I have 2 of them. Yeah, I'm tough on my daughter.
Well, like the thing is that the problem is that, and this kind of like cycle it back around. Do we think that most people aspire? Let's take women and men out of it, and you know what I mean. Let's just talk about people in general. Do we think most people aspire to be married today? Do we think that is a primary goal for majority of people today?
No.
To be honest with you, I don't think it ever was a primary goal for most people.
When you say
you mean I think women it is, but not guys. Not guys, but women.
I agree with
the number. Purple Pill, when they polled men, the numbers are roughly the same. Just as many men want to get married as just as many women. It's pretty much relatively the same. We all human. All of us desire to be with somebody. See, what you got is, because the thing is, we talk about the things that men fear in marriage, but women also have fears for marriage. It's just we got different fears. So, you know what I mean? So, but the same amount of people that fear marriage.
Making a point. Come on, bruh.
So the same amount of people are both fearing marriage for different reasons, but they still exist. But there's not, like, I think they said only 45% of people are married now in America, all together. And then they said when you get a divorce, the amount of people that aspire to be married drops significantly. So imagine that you got a 60% divorce rate in the Black community where the marriage rate is already only 30%. And they're telling you that majority of people, the vast majority of people who get a divorce don't even want to get remarried anymore. You have a lot of people that don't aspire to be married.
The issue is not marriage, though.
No, I get that. Yeah, I get that. But you know,
are the people. They don't understand what the purpose in which marriage is, and because of that, they're gonna fail. I mean, some people going into marriage with the wrong mindset. You know, and first, and the people that don't want to be married, it's unfortunate. You know, as Shannon, you know, he's been on the show with me long enough to know that I'm an advocate for marriage, because if we always talk about white people, we talk about different cultures. I'm under the guise of to find out who's doing it well and how are they doing it, and how can we aspire to be something like that. That's what I would hope that people would want to do. That's the whole reason why, you know, we talked about the trap stars, talked about the athlete. Like, these young dudes and young women are aspiring to be these people for particular reasons. So if we are individuals that get married and have a successful marriage, then individuals would want to do that, right? But the thing of it is currently that dudes don't want to be married, and you can talk about women all day don't want to be married, but a man who wants to be married can be married. All you got to do is put your game plan together, and then find the woman that will fit in your frame. It's just that's not what y'all want to do. And if that's not what you want to do,
Sean, you got drugs in your mouth? You trapping?
He's giving us a live example right now.
So Humble Dad, this is the reason why.
You in Dallas, Sean? You in Dallas?
Sean, come on my podcast, bro. Come literally
Dallas,
tomorrow,
bro?
if you're in Dallas.
Absolutely.
I know, Purple.
yeah,
You in
Phil
Dallas
was
too?
in Dallas.
Yeah, Purple in Dallas.
Yeah.
Purple, you in Dallas?
Yeah.
Sean, you in Dallas too?
Yeah, I'm in Dallas.
Oh man, we gotta link up.
I'm gonna put my number in the back chat.
Just catch him at the trap house. He in
I
the
ain't
back
going
now.
out there. See, look, you in the wrong spot. I'm not coming out there.
That's that thing we was just talking about. I'm not going over there.
Talking about Deep Ellum?
You heard how many?
Dude,
you heard
why
how
would
much
you
shit
go-
happened to Deep Ellum?
Yeah, Deep Ellum is crazy.
Yeah, it's a bunch of homeless dudes in Deep Ellum, bro.
I think also the problem with marriage that most people have is that successful people keep a successful marriage to themselves. They don't really talk to other successful married people. They don't really have conversations with single people. So therefore, single people only hear the divorce side of marriage. They don't really get to hear people that are successful, especially the successful wives. Successful wives are usually very quiet. They very vocal in the household, and they nice and vocal there. But outside in the street, they'll consider just a soccer mom taking their kids to soccer. They go in and get out. They get dressed when there's a party at the house. They do these big platters for the house parties for all the married couples. So therefore, single people do not get the chance to actually see successful marriages.
But I think that discounts the reason why people fear marriage. Because if you ask a lot of men why they fear marriage, they fear the institution of it in the event of a divorce or what happens in that aspect. This is the reason why I asked Jay Stans and Big Clout last week, what do you want to do about it? Because here's the reality. And I'm going to say this, though, Jay Stans, I'm going to tell you this. Them laws going to change pretty soon. You ain't got to worry about it. Here's the reason why. Because they got white women online sitting over there convincing other white women to get a divorce right now from good men, stay-at-home moms. See, and they thinking that they looking at everybody else and thinking that, oh, look, they over there independent, fuck nigga free, all this. And they don't realize they men are the ones that hold the key to a lot of this stuff. And I had an epiphany. I couldn't for the life of me.
I mean, with abortion.
I couldn't for the life of me figure out why they refused to change the laws. And then I thought about it. I said, that's because white marriage rates are over 50% right now. We won't see laws start to change in this country until white marriage rates drop to like 30%. And that's when they're going to start saying, oh, man, we ain't letting these women get over on us. I'm not giving you half of my shit.
They ignored crack. They ignored crack. But as soon as they all got on methamphetamine, suddenly they had programs in place quick.
So when I'm telling y'all, these white women on TikTok divorcing good men, they saying, I don't care that my man is good. They leave them. These are stay-at-home moms. So you know their husbands got money. I'm telling y'all, the laws don't.
If you see this, but how y'all gonna get mad at me for questioning? Y'all watching it yourselves. Hold on. Y'all married. Some of y'all been married and divorced. Y'all been through it already. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all seen it for yourself.
What you heard me say last week, I said I've always understood why. I even asked y'all, I'm like, is it?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I always understood that point. That's why I kept saying I can't argue for marriage for you because my marriage is good. There is nothing I can tell you that's going to convince you that you need to go out there and get married. Why? Because you out there single and you dealing with whoever you dealing with and you see the world in front of you. I can't convince you to change your mind. However, I can't sit here and be like, oh man, you know what I mean? I can tell you the benefits and I can tell you what the community looks like. But here's the thing about that though. I've always said, if y'all don't want to do it, there's a way to do it the right way. There's a way to do it the wrong way. Y'all pick and choose how y'all want to do it. And if shit hits the fan, it hits the fan.
I agree with you, and I think my perception of marriage would be different if I didn't see married women out here too. That's it. If I didn't see married people out here too, I wouldn't say nothing. But they out here too, in the club with me, with the ring on.
So you see married women, you see married men doing the same thing though, right?
Come on, it's both.
But you also, but that's what he was saying. That's exactly what Bracy said. You don't see successful marriages, but I would say that you also don't look for them either.
I have seen successful marriage, but there are requirements that's going to make your marriage successful that people don't have yet. If you a broke man, you shouldn't be thinking about marriage, period.
That's not true. I met my wife, I was broke.
Broke people get married all the time.
I met my wife broke,
Hey,
$8,000. The woman do not marry your money. She marries your vision and your plan. Most women do not. Most women only move on how they feel. They do not move. They do not come around. Like in real life, it's not a bunch of women talking about, oh, so how much money you make. That does not really happen. They go by how you make them feel. It's plenty of homosexuals, right? That's what y'all call them. They want to find some decent woman because that woman like, yo, he made me feel good. And she let him sleep on that. She let him sleep with him for at least 4 to 6 months until she like, all right, then she got destigmatized. It came out. She got out the trance, and then she's like, okay, What are we doing here? But women move off of feelings, not off no goddamn financials.
Bracy.
Bullshit.
I will say this though, both reasons are terrible reasons to get married. If you move, whether you selecting a guy based off of how much money he got or how he makes you feel in that moment, both of them are terrible reasons to get married.
Right, but
that's how we got the results we got today.
Think about everything the young guys have been hearing for the last few years, especially with Kevin Samuels. All they've been hearing is become the best version of yourselves. So now y'all are saying that what he's saying, which is consistent with what they've been hearing, is wrong. So this is once again why you shouldn't listen to everybody. You have to pick and choose who you listen to. You know what I mean? Everything's not going to apply to you. He gets to decide what's the best advice for him. And for him, it sounds like leveling up. You know what I'm saying? And getting to it is the best advice for him, and not thinking about women or being married. Well, not thinking about being married is the best for him. That's his choice.
Well, then don't be sleeping with these women that want to be married.
Come on now, that pussy got to be had now, humble dad.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah,
Well, y'all are disruptive group of people. Boy, I tell you, y'all play 6 sides of the field, bro. Y'all are some demons out here.
I'm sorry, man. I'm just saying, but that's not. I hear what you're saying, humble dad.
They some demons out here, humble dad, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
They
Listen. You need to be a good, wholesome wife, man. Just stay there and let me go be a hoe, and then I'll come back to you so you can be my wife. Come on, man.
Bracy, are you still broke?
Who?
I am not.
You're not broke no more?
No.
How long you not been broke? You've been married for 12 years. So how many of them years have you been financially solid?
I would say half. I'll say 6 years. 6 years I've been.
So half year, 6 years you broke, 6 years you weren't. Your wife didn't marry a rich man. Do you think that your wife would still be there if you was broke today?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not gonna sit here and say because there's I don't know. I think there's
Hold on, I have a question. Hold on. He said his wife is a stay-home wife. I want you to not go to work for a month and don't bring no money home and see what happens.
But also, if that was to happen, if I was to do that, but if I was to do that, then that's not me being me. That's not the man that she married, neither. So you telling me to be something that I am not.
I'm just saying. I'm giving you an example. Marriage.
But you're also saying that she married the potential.
So even
you're
when I was
also saying that your wife saw in something in you, she knew what you was going to become.
Right, because I never.
You're saying that that's not you. There's no way that you could just stop making money and just sit on your ass and play 2K all day. That's just not you. You get money. It's just whether you with a wife or without a wife. Bracy gets money. Got you. My thing is, did your wife see that coming down the road?
More than likely.
12 years ago. 12 years ago, she saw that you were high
12
potential.
years ago, your wife saw that coming down the road. And if she didn't see that, you telling me that she would have moved on just how you fucked her? Yeah, no, probably not.
So again, that what you're saying is her feeling, right? So she had a feeling that I was going to move in a certain direction, and then every day I proved that feeling to be correct. So I never came home when I was having an $8 an hour job. I never came home and just played video games or sat down and watched Power or some shit like that, right? I always went out and got a second gig. I went out to get some more money somewhere else, left, right.
She respected your grind. She respected your grind. She respected your hustle.
That wasn't a feeling. That was an educated decision.
Yeah,
she was making a very calculated decision.
She made a future investment. And she said, Ron, it's somebody I'm gonna invest in, and I'm gonna reap the benefits. Where in 12 years, I ain't got to do nothing but just wake up and be great. That's what she and it paid off for her. And what we're saying is when you say,
I also put that plan in front of her.
Money. Huh?
Also put that plan out in front. Like, this is what I'm planning on doing. And every day, every year, I kept moving forward.
Oh, she came in like, please put a ring on my finger.
I had a plan.
A lot of dudes don't have
with a plan 12 years ago, and you as young as you are, and you came with a plan, and you telling me she moved on feelings?
Hell no, she didn't. No,
women move off of feelings.
She said this man got a plan. He's a grinder.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but shout out to you, Bracy, man, because there's a lot of dudes in their early 30s that don't even have a plan for next week or next year. So for you to have something ironed out and thought about, for your family, shouts out to you. for Sean, shout out to all my boss women, wife and niggas, man. Make sure you hit them with a prenup.
Okay,
the only time we ever see like women hyper successful married dudes, we just see somebody like Nicki Minaj do it, but they are hyper rich. You ain't saying no woman that makes $130,000 a year about to go marry a bum. She's leaving that. She will rather be single than to deal with that dude.
What kind of guy she married to?
But
what kind of guy she married to?
Why are we talking about bums though? We ain't talking about bums.
She married to a thug motherfucker.
No, she married somebody that she got feelings for since she was young.
Right, but you remember the caveat was that she's hyper rich. She's a millionaire. There ain't nothing that dude can do. That she done already put a prenup on that he can do to her. She ain't giving him no babies that she don't want to give him. She knows she gonna walk away with the kid even if she has one. So she ain't worried about no dude who makes less than her because she's a millionaire. What I'm talking about is you don't see a woman that makes $150,000, $160,000 a year out here trying to marry a dude that only makes 70. She's just not gonna do it.
You absolutely do. You absolutely do, bro. You got people, let's just say people who work for the city or something like that. They have a civil job. Their wife may be a professional. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody like the woman I married, she
in our community.
Like, yes, yeah. I think y'all do.
You got a 26% marriage rate, man. Come on now.
I think you need to change your stuff. That's what I suspect, right? So at the end of it all, bro, everybody ain't gotta make 300,000. Some of us got the sauce. Now I get a bag of money too. Let's be clear about that. But some of us have always had the sauce, and so you ain't gotta have the money if you got the sauce, or you can have both, and you can get whatever you want.
Sean, we got a 26% marriage rate, bro. 30. My bad. 30. Is it 26 or 30? It's one of those, but that's pretty damn low to be saying that you got it, and it falls through the floor. The higher the woman earns. Those are the numbers. These women are not marrying dudes that make significantly less than them. They're not. They tell you every day what kind of man they want.
They'll have sex with you. They're not gonna marry you. That's the difference.
They tell us every single day. Hey, hold on, wait.
Yep.
Ladies in the chat, real quick. Just let me know. Are you marrying a dude that makes $30,000 to $40,000 less than you?
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are, bro.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Without a doubt.
Dude brings the vibes and the butterflies and the good times.
He's got to be him.
He's
got to be him.
$40,000.
Don't let these women fool you. They definitely.
Exactly. I don't know where y'all get ideas from, bro. But I
definitely, yeah.
A whole lot of shit,
bro. The marriage rates tell you that.
What is it based on?
You do know that we can actually calculate married people in the country, right? That's a real number that we know,
bro.
You have to literally file that damn near on your taxes now. Married filing, single, married filing. Those are all government records, so it's easy to count.
This goes back to what I was saying, the purple pill earlier, bro. All of this depends on the point at which you're meeting the person. I met her in 2005, a couple years after I got out of college. Neither one of us had a big bag of money because we were fresh out of college. She was still in the grad program at University of Chicago. Nobody had a big bag of money. So once again,
I didn't say that though.
I'm saying the way that you're framing it is as if everybody meets once they both or one of them has a big bag of money.
No, I didn't say that at all.
But I'm okay. I'm saying something. I'm saying that a lot of people meet in high school. A lot of people meet once they get out of college before anybody has a bag of money. So everything you're saying don't even come into play
that's
yet.
not what I said, though. I said it would be hard pressed to find a woman that makes over $150,000 willing to marry a guy that makes significantly less than her. I already know that people tend to marry within a socioeconomic level, and that tends to happen at earlier stages in their life. That's not what I'm talking about. I said women, it'd be hard fought to find a woman that makes over $150,000 a year willing to marry a dude that makes $40,000 to $50,000 less than her. That is a fact.
So who are these women having sex with?
Doesn't matter. They're not marrying them.
But Sweeney. So most women are not making over 150K. Let's start there.
I didn't say. I spoke to a specific group of women.
Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying what you said. I'm saying what I'm saying.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
All right. So most women are not making over 150K. That's number one. Number two, the women that are making over 150K, you acting like they're in their 20s. they're older women, right? So they're somewhere in their mid to late 30s or 40s or something like that, right? And so you keep making it seem like
Sean, here, let's just go back to just because what he's talking about is just hypergamy. Like what do you do for a living? You said that you were like a chemist or something, correct?
No, so I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a chemist by training, and I run community programs my whole
The
life.
street chemist.
So you
Breaking
really
Bad.
like science then?
He's a Breaking
You need to
Bad
look
chemist.
up. You need to look up Dr. David Buss, bro. Like he's a professor down out of Austin, Texas. He wrote Why Women Behave Badly, The Evolution of Desire. He wrote a lot of books on this stuff, man. And he did studies across 37 cultures, like the Scandinavian countries to even tribal countries in New Guinea, like or tribal people in New Guinea. So like you can see women are hypergamous across all societies. It's not just America. It's not just black. It's not just white. It's just hypergamy. And we're not saying that like it's a straitjacket and that all women are only going to do these certain things, but it's just on a general basis, on a majority basis, man. Hypergamy is real. It's 52% when you look at the math. And I'm not saying that a woman who makes 100K won't be with a dude who makes 52, or a woman who makes 70K won't be with a dude who makes 40K, but it's going to be harder for her to do it because her hypergamous nature makes her want to be with a provider. She's hardwired that way for just in case she was going to have a baby for hundreds of thousands of years. We can try to be smart and intelligent and break past these type of barriers, but humans are just not that intelligent, honestly, if we really look at IQ levels.
So what you all are saying is very specific, right?
Yeah,
and to be I think it's kind of cherry picking, because what Sweeney was saying is women over 150,000. Once again, there aren't millions of women, black women, that are making over 150,000. So now you're taking a subset of a subset. So once again, it's a very intelligent way to cherry pick what's really happening.
That's why I brought it back to the broad hypergamy.
Hold on 1 second. Most people are regular people. They're regular earners. That's why the median salary is median for a reason in the black community. Most people, going back to your bell curve, which we call a Gaussian bell curve, I'm a scientist, right? Most people are in the middle. It's a median for a reason. Y'all are talking about the extremes on the right side of the curve. Most people exist in the middle. And in that middle, everybody earns middle money, which means they're marrying on their level, the people who are getting married. So what y'all are saying, once again, y'all are picking outliers.
Hold on, Sean.
So
what Sweeney said, hold on.
Pause.
I gotta beat him on this.
I'm gonna let you do that. I'm gonna let you do that just real quick. Like, we need to find a landing point. We gotta get to the super chats. All right, guys. We gotta find a landing point. Go ahead, Purple.
No, so like you said, the 150 thing, I'm not fighting for his 150 thing. That's why I gave the example of 70K and 40K, because that's more normal. And there's a lot of women in that situation, okay? Because women, in most major cities, women are out earning men now. Women are graduating at 70% of the rate from college and men at 40. Maybe not in the black community, but just in general, 70-40. So when you look at those things, women are starting to make more money. They're more in these situations where it's 60-40, or where they make 60K and the guy makes 40, or they make 70K and the guy makes 50. And I'm just saying, in general, those hypergamous situations are not always going to work. And I'm not talking about the extremes, the 150K people or anything. I'm talking even these average people are having these issues right now. I see women all the time who have these issues, and they make 50, 60, 70K, and they want a guy who makes 52% more than them. Like, it's a very average thing for most of these women.
See, Purple, I can't refute what you just said, because you expanded it to say that your sample size did not just include the black community, which means to have this conversation and make it relevant to this conversation, we would have to drill down and just include the black community. So say, for instance, if we're talking about crime in Chicago, it looks like it's not as bad as it is because the crime exists in certain communities. When you go into those communities, it's much worse than it seems, because they're more safe communities than communities that are dangerous. So what I'm saying is, when you expand the sample size, it dilutes the numbers. When we zero back into the black community, everything that you're saying is much worse, and many more people are much more average. The disparity, the 70 to 40,000, that's not as common as it seems in what you said. Which what you saying, I know is true, but that's a more vast sample size.
Yeah, because I was gonna say no, go ahead, JR. I know you got to read the super chats.
Yeah, let me go get these super chats out the way, man. Real quick, I know people gotta get up out of here. Doug Will, $10 also member, says, I love the Judge Judy, but she was off on this one. Wives should use their skills to benefit their family, not to be independent. You can't be independent, be married. Shout out to Rabbit Fool, aka Sharon.
All right, Dub Will.
All right, Jazz Wiz, man, $10. Also member says Judge Judy is correct. Ladies, most men who pay all the bills are either cheaters or put hands on their wife. You should always have a backup plan, like a job, or go back to your parents' house.
Oh God.
Seriously.
Big Cheese Compensation, $2 says hypergamy is going to keep a lot of women unmarried. Chad Poole, 199 says stop hearing what women say and go by actions. Chad Poole again, 499 says our moms just wanted a man with a job. These females now wouldn't date a man with a 9 to 5, but guys need to be better. Laughing emoji, you guys be capped. Del Will, $2 says hoes are what they say?
Omnipresent.
Yeah.
Omnipresent.
Man. Everywhere? Okay. Never used that word. I'll put that in my vocabulary list. Sharon Thomas, $2 also member says Sean is raising his daughter to be a baby mama.
That's unfair. That's unfair.
I reject your reality. $2 also member says, but he wants to support the community. Jazz Wiz, man, $5 also member says Sean is right. Men should raise their daughter to take care of themselves. They should not have to submit or be in control by men who treat them wrong.
Well, Sweeney, all the women are going to agree with that. All
right.
But it's like nobody's telling you to go with a man that's gonna treat you wrong. Who said that?
Hank in the basement, $10 also member says I'm here to support my brother JR. Have a shot of Wooford Reserve on me, my guy. Appreciate you, Hank.
Nice, Hank.
1999 says it ain't about your money, your looks, feelings, etc. Marriages don't work unless women do it in 2023. Marriage is about how women feel, not your ego. The best man takes L's in 2023 to women's feelings. This isn't 1955! Exclamation point.
Okay, Ollie.
499 says JR. Your rampant discrimination against dudes that have no beards is disgusting. Is it Sharon?
Sharon. Yes,
Okay.
Sharon.
Sharon doesn't count. He's in denial.
Hey man, leave the fellas with no beards alone, man. Some people it just ain't gonna work for.
No beards need love too,
Hey, I could grow a
Some
good
people
beard.
it just ain't
My
gonna
beard
work for.
Nah, I grow a good beard. I just kind of cut it off.
Sometimes it looks scraggly and stuff, so that's why they got to go more clean shaven. So
they got them struggle beards.
Everybody not able. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, let me. I want to say something real quick. If it's about the money and it's about having access to people who have earning potential, not only once they get out of school, but into the future, women have plenty of access to those men. They're on college campuses. They're all over. The engineering department, the mathematics, the STEM, they're all over these other areas. They have access to these men. It's just about prioritizing yourself, and getting in proximity to these types of men and having that kind of conversation, right? And dating these types of men that that in the future they have earning potential and earning growth, right?
But see, therein lies the problem, Lewis. They want to date them later.
Yeah, but
they want to date them when it's too late. And them brothers know that they're valuable now. And they're like, oh, you didn't want me when we were freshmen. You didn't want me when I was 25. Now you want me so why would I want you? So that becomes one of the issues that we're having. Listen, the thing about what we talk about, it's feelings versus money. To women, money is feelings. That's why I'm not really getting into this argument, because I think we're no, she loves how you make her feel, but how I make her feel is because of how much money I make.
Exactly.
Or how much money I potentially will make. Hypergamy is embedded in all of them. Purple Pill is right. No matter what socioeconomic status you're on, no matter if you in the hood, no matter if you on top of the hill, hypergamy is baked in the cake with women. It is evolved. They have evolved to do that. That's just what it is. Now, what level is it on? That depends on where you live, where you at, what hood you in. Sean spoke on it earlier. He was like, look, when you in college, they want the frat and the ball players. That's college version of hypergamy, because everybody broke on college campus, but the alphas got the status. I want to roll with the Sphinx men. I want to roll with the apes. So that's what the girls do. Get out of college. I want to roll. So it just depends. But hypergamy is baked in the cake because feeling for women is providing and protecting. And if you can't do either one of those, even in the hood, even the pookies, them niggas may be the hustlers. They may not be the college dudes with a job and a 9-to-5, but they got the Dodge Challenger. He got the fake Gucci belt. He looked like he got the fly glass. He looked like he's clean and got some money. He got a money phone on all his ID pictures. They chase after that shit. Yeah, he got the Hellcat. And if he's able to get a Hellcat, he must gonna be able to take care of our baby, and she gives him a baby.
Oh, so by that definition, they're not looking to build with that type of man. They're waiting to wait by the finish
waiting
line.
at the finish line.
As always.
And the tripped out part is that in our community, if we can just cycle it back to the Black community, our women are as equal to us as they can possibly be. They the thing that they fought for the most, like white women have been out here fighting for equality. Our women are as equal to their men as they could possibly be. They're 50% of the college. They're 50% of the earners in the households. They're 50% of everything here. They got it. You work with us, and yet they still saying you're not good enough.
Yeah, there you go. All right, before we get up out of here, Sweeney is having a 4th of July special on beard installments.
Stop lying to him.
No, I'm let him know, man.
Stop lying to him.
He has been doing my beard for like 2 years now. So just in case you guys want to know the secret, it's been a brother Sweeney there. Sean has gone to him, so I know you guys used to seeing Sean with the goatee, but since he's been going to Sweeney, here's his growing in. Pretty nice there, Paul. And, I just recommend Purple Pill. He's on day 2, so turn to the side for him. So so it's starting to come in a little bit, but you guys need to reach out to him. If you're in the Dallas area, he's doing miracles out here. City Boys up, man. City Boys up. Sweeney. So appreciate you, man, for helping out the brothers, man. And y'all talking about Sweeney ain't doing community work. You're doing a lot of community work for the brothers out here with the struggle beers. Look at that.
What more do you want from me?
You ain't never seen Sean turn to the side that much, man. But thanks to Sweeney.
Got me right 3 weeks.
I know, man. Y'all check out Sweeney, man. Go ahead and get that plug.
The beard line looking strong, Sean. The beard line looking strong.
When I come with some 360s, y'all know.
Y'all ain't getting me. Y'all ain't about to hit me with the Home Depot girl. I'm good. Y'all ain't about to start doxing me around here, showing up to my place of business. Messing with my wife.
I heard you had a special going on.
Nah. If you're in Dallas, you know how to reach me.
There you go, man. Well, good discussion, man. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, before we roll out of here, real quick, I might did this beginning of the show. I just want to say happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers on the panel, real quick. Happy belated Juneteenth, all that kind of stuff. Happy belated birthday to Shan. Gemini gang over here. I know yours was the other week, so you know what I'm saying. Are you Sharon? You a Gemini too? When was your birthday?
June 5th.
June 5th. Okay, boom. Mine was 13. Mine was last Tuesday. That's why I went.
Nice.
Happy belated.
Happy belated.
Shan as well. Shan was
Gemini gang. And also, Shan, I know you was talking about all the different auxiliary groups and stuff for the fraternities. FYI, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated does have Omega Lamplighters auxiliary group for the young boys, the young men in school and all that kind of stuff. So Omega Lamplighters, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated auxiliary group.
All right, there you go.
Boom.
All right, y'all make sure y'all follow everybody on individual platforms. Sweeney, Luis.
Don't hurt yourself, Shan. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt your neck.
Yeah, Shan got the come on shirts, man. So y'all make sure y'all check them out. ShannonRoss.com. Jay Stanley, you found them on TikTok. B Madden is a superstar out here. You can find him everywhere, man. You might see him on a billboard in New York somewhere. Purple Pill Pod. If you guys looking to join an awesome panel, a live show, y'all make sure y'all check out Purple Pill. Sharon Bracey, he's new to YouTube, but y'all make sure y'all go ahead and give him a follow. And Sean Antonio, y'all make sure y'all check out Rich Bully and make sure y'all support the homie as well. Let's support each other. Green Gang, I see you in the chat. Miss Parker, Miss Moore. Who else we got in there? Twizzy, greatness to work. Shout out to all my Green Gang in there. Great discussion, fellas. I catch y'all on the next one. Great show. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the sponsor, Teach Hanley, and we out. All right, y'all. Thank you guys as well. Thank you. Thank you.
Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. We gon' come and see about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. Find out nothing sweet about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. We gon' come and see about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. Find out nothing sweet about it. Look, mile like 3-6 pulled up, ski trip, cold winter. I'm eating good. I remember when we had no dinner. West side, east side, no side, both sides with me. Check, coming, check, leaving flex season. 12, come and get me. Gil, to run around high speed, chasing all the big bags. Bending corners, bending rules, bending necks, Gil, the whiplash. Slide through hot knife, warm butter storm, gutter drain lane. Young man, old habit, still at it, trying to let my chain hang. True story, new story, 2-story condo, B&B. 4 bath, 1 me, no key, like I did a B&E. B&Me so good, so hood, so not worried about it. 250,000 new views, old news, know you probably heard about it. Extra, read about it. Headline, word around town, flexing. Ballin' on my course, so I ain't worried about nobody out of bounds, stressing. Feeling like Hercules, murder these ain't a problem to me. Tried to tell the maid service don't come unless you bring it condoms to me. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. We gon' come and see about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. Find out nothing sweet about it. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping.
No, I really can't complain. Wave, everything is straight. Wave, I'm in it for keepsake. In the field with the cleat lace. Beat freak with the bare face and a slick tongue, that's what she say. She look good, she a big tease when she bite lip with the wink face. Hella bad when she throwing it back. She bring them my way for the team play. For Pete's sake, I'm above average, I padded my stats. I gotta matter what he say. I'm the 2010 young LeBron James off the backboard, type of bad boy. Hold it down for the task force. If I run his face, then you ask for it. Niggas cross need to laugh more. I keep it 100 on dashboard. The live show needed passport, cause the beat bounced to the cap torn. Feel like I live it and fast forward, but I asked for it. Misfit got a quick lit on a crash course from the tattered garment to the tabloid. Spoke how I live it into existence. I'd be ahead of myself, but the bank account did jump up a couple figures. Feel like nobody could fuck with us. I'm a flight risk. I play among the stars in the Hollywood Hill, the space station couldn't even get in touch with me. Praise faith that I stuck with it. Wave. No, I really can't complain. Everything is straight. I've been on the way. But everything I say turn into the real thing. I tell her run it up, cause you know it ain't a thing. We made it up the slums, words on the page. Everything is straight. I've been on the way. But everything I'm saying turn into the real thing. I've been living like I'm famous. Like I don't show my face as I'm jumping on the stage. Like I'm living in a daydream. Thoughts and imagination. She only want me when she fake. She couldn't tell me I'm a fake. She ain't told no lie, she love it when I catch my cadence. She gone off the deep end, pull up every weekend. I hate to let her down, but I'm in a fast life, so they never slowing me down. Heart rate dropping like a no sleep out. How you switch up, you always help me down. Wonder why I turn into a cold of me now. It could be worse, right? I got where I'm at without no work-life balance. You tell me that it's love, but I'm knowing that it's malice. Squad when we got cut us for the same fabric. No, I really can't complain. Everything is straight. I've been on the wave, but everything everything I say turn into the real thing. Tell them run it up, you know it ain't a thing. We made it out the songs with the words on the page. Everything is straight. I've been on the wave, but everything I'm saying turn into the real thing.